So Tulsi, it takes some gall to tell Americans we're going to create a new world order after the last one, globalization, wrecked our jobs and kind of was responsible for the rise of China.
You know, we are at an inflection point, I believe, in the world economy, not just the world economy, in the world. And now is a time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it.
Joe wants to lead the new world order. He can't even keep his own house in order.
And so what we're witnessing is the violent eruptions of a great tectonic shift in global power. As U.S. global power declines, China ascends, power shifts from the West, Europe and the United States, towards Asia. And we're witnessing then an historic change, constructing a new kind of world order, far less concerned with human rights, far less concerned with law, a kind of transactional world order of mutual convenience.
Remember back in the early 90s when the Soviet Union collapsed? Bush 41 said the new world order was an opportunity.
We have in this past year made great progress in ending the long era of conflict and Cold War. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
Well, sadly, Bush lost, and Clinton, Wall Street, and stupid senators like Joe Biden shaped the new world order. And that new world order ended up just being massive globalization, putting other countries first and America last, pushing deals like NATO and NAFTA, where we opened our borders, shipped our jobs down south to Mexico, and empowered the cartels that are funneling drugs into our neighborhoods. And China can thank the New World Order for their giant leap forward.
We're joined by Alfred McCoy, professor of history at University of Wisconsin-Madison, author of numerous books, most recently To Govern the Globe, World Orders and Catastrophic Change. His recent article for The Nation is headlined, Russia and China Together at Last.
And that's also a reference to the historic meeting between Putin and Xi Jinping on February 4th of this year, when the two met during the Winter Olympics, and they issued an historic 5,300-word declaration that laid claim to establishing a kind of new global order, to attacking U.S. global hegemony, and to build upon their strong bilateral alliance, their very close economic integration in the field of energy, and to simultaneously block NATO from threatening Russia and block the United States from supporting Taiwan against China's legitimate claims to Taiwan. And so, in effect, what that meeting failed to accomplish was it simply failed to break this emerging alliance between China and Russia, which is literally shaking the current world order.
The international order that the U.S. and its allies built after World War II is, we are told, crumbling.
I really do think this is a moment like the end of World War II, where all of the boats are rocking, but the forces of freedom are doing what they need to preserve and protect themselves.
It's about humility, isn't it, Tulsi? It's about recognizing that the American president can't just shape the world however he wants. And part of being intelligent is kind of knowing your limitations. Do you think Joe Biden knows his limitations, or do you think he's so arrogant that he thinks he's just going to, create a new world order?
Central to that humility, Jesse, is first and foremost recognizing you're not God. You are not in control. And if you try to pretend that you are, what will result, even with good intentions, what will result, unfortunately, is more suffering, more hardship. For the people in the world that supposedly he's trying to save, he seems to be more focused on trying to be president of the world. And along with the power elite of America, taking this missionary zeal to say, you know what, we're going to set aside the problems that the American people are facing and instead focus on saving the world by spreading democracy everywhere. It's just a bigger version of Obama's Arab Spring, where he took his kind of messianic attitude towards trying to save the Middle East by spreading democracy, but really just left destruction, suffering, and death in his wake. And that is exactly what we will see play out if he continues to think that he is and can be somehow the controller of all people and all things in this world.
I mean, he can barely even control himself, let alone the entire world.
That because of their alliance and their dominant position in this great landmass that comprises 70% of the world's population and productivity, that it almost inevitably that they are going to emerge as the new centers of global power on the planet. Is that we're seeing a sense of extraordinary confidence from Moscow and Beijing that literally history and, more importantly, geopolitics is on their side. They believe that their alliance gives them such dominance, such power on the massive Eurasian landmass that they can prevail, that they can not only dominate the landmass, they can dominate international politics. In essence, they are pursuing a geopolitical strategy to break U.S. control over the Eurasian landmass and thereby break U.S. global power. They think that they are witnessing the birth, the historic birth of a new world order in which the great global hegemon, the United States, which has dominated the world for the past 70 years, in which its global power is broken and its dominance over Eurasia, something the United States has maintained since the start of the Cold War in the early 1950s, that is coming also to an end. And they can break U.S. global power, and they together can construct a new global order.
The movement of China to align with Russia, or to, the movement of them to align with Russia, or their proximity of moving closer together, is certainly of great concern to us, as we've expressed. And we are not the only country that has expressed that concern, including many other members of the G7 have expressed exactly that concern.
The growing power of China over the Eurasian continent, their Belt and Road Initiative, this $1 trillion development program that now incorporates around 70 nations in Eurasia and Africa, laying down infrastructure, pipelines, railroads, and roads across the whole Eurasian landmass. If this development project succeeds, and it's 10 times the size of the Marshall Plan that the United States used to rebuild Europe after World War II, it's the biggest development scheme in human history. If this scheme works in laying down infrastructure of rails, pipelines, and roads across the Eurasian landmass, and that draws the commerce of Eurasia, home to 70% of the world's population, towards Beijing, then almost as if by natural law, power and prestige and global leadership will flow towards Beijing. Because every global hegemon for the last 500 years, from the Portuguese to the Spanish, the Dutch, the British, the United States, and now the Chinese, have done one thing in common. They have all dominated Eurasia. Their rise to global power, including the US rise to global power after World War II, was accompanied by dominance over Eurasia. And decline of all of these global powers, including the United States, has been marked by their declining control over Eurasia. I'd say by 2030, by the end of this decade, it will become clear that US global power is eclipsed, that power has shifted to Beijing on the Eurasian landmass, and they are the new global hegemon.
Mic check, mic check. All praise to the Most High. Forever live his anointed beloved Son. All praises. If I can be heard, give me a Yahoo, 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 Yahoo up in the chat. Good to see y'all, beautiful people. Good to be seen. Good to be above ground. Know what I mean? All praise to the Creator. The Creator of the heavens of heavens. and the many worlds without end. Dig, all praise. Good to see y'all in the building. Bless up. Bless up. Bless up. All praises, glory, and honor. Y'all see the title. What is this? Part 69. Nehemiah, what is this? 69? Might be 69. Let me add Nehemiah up in the chat too. Get Nehemiah up in her. Big homie. Bless up.
What it do, True Jew?
Man, my beloved brother, bless up. You know what I mean? Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm sitting there trying to look through the videos now and see which one.
I be forgetting.
Yeah, it's 69. That's right.
Is where we at. You dig,
Yeah,
bro? Say, when y'all birds coming to Hawaii, Honolulu. How you be today, though, my little brother? Talk to me.
Oh, man, feeling good. Sitting here in the house. It's quiet, you know. Everybody out visiting and fellowshipping, and dad at home alone. Husband at home alone.
Hey, man,
grandpa at home alone. Uncle at home alone. Great uncle at home alone. You know, friend at home alone.
Best thing to be. You know what I mean?
That NIG I love to hate at home.
I'm just saying. That's the
Shout out to all our haters and John Jackers and naysayers.
Best thing to be is at home. Especially by yourself, boy, you can get some serious meditation.
Hey, bro, I don't even have a light on. The computer is the only thing on, and my cell phone.
Yeah, you know what? We as a people got to stop being afraid of that alone time, that by yourself. You dig? Me, I love being by myself. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I give me some downtime, quiet, oh yeah, bro, I'm about to give me some meditation on you, bro. You already know. Sister Mahaya Yashar is asking, how is Mama Strata doing, brother? Get a nation a report. Talk to her.
Oh man, listen, y'all. First I want to give out a heartfelt condolences to our sister Renaya. Down in Atlanta, she lost her father. We was on the phone a few times because both our parents was going through hospice. But she actually lost her father. So keep her family in our prayers. But the report on my mom, y'all, all I can say is the prayers are working. She has made a complete turnaround. They're seriously considering even taking her off hospice. But
all praise.
Man, bro, she making phone calls every day. She's back to calling people. She's up playing bingo. She's actually leading bingo, calling out the numbers. Set apart living on Ima Huba. She was even talking to my daughter, seeing when my grandchildren, with some of my grandchildren, went to go see their great grandmama, and they rolled her outside. You know, they don't allow the babies in her, but they rolled her outside.
That's right.
So the grandbabies can kick it with her. You know. But man, when I tell you, they sent me a video with her doing bingo and calling out the numbers, bro.
Yeah, she all good then. If she up playing bingo, or if she up talking her talk, yeah, she good.
She back to eating, you know, she ain't on the IV foods, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Bro, I mean, she still got some ways to go, you know, but I'm talking about when I tell you I see nothing but life. And I learned one thing going through this, and also sharing the loss with my sister, is that you take each day and be grateful for that. I'm not worried about what I got coming tomorrow with my mom. I'm just grateful I had her today at this moment. You know what I'm saying? And so I am grateful to all of y'all for y'all prayers. Multiple people calling, multiple people checking in, multiple people asking. Thank you for asking. Man, bless up to all y'all. Man, if I can just give my love and put it directly in your hand to hold you, I would.
I really would. Man, look, you know what's real? And we all should be learning from that, man. Like, look, when the scripture talk about when 2 or 3 are gathered, it's power there. Messiah is there. You understand? And if you set you an intention, if you suspect not just one of us, but if at least 2 of us set an intention, it can be done with 1 too. But the more, the merrier. The bigger the faith, the bigger the miracles. And then with a whole bunch if at least 2 or 3 get together, they got that faith, man, ain't nothing you can't ask for that won't happen.
Man, that's right. I mean?
Like, bro, if they're talking about, if the conversation in the circle is, oh, we about to take her off hospice. You know what I mean? Y'all know usually when that hospice judgment come down, it's usually that's just what it is. You know,
yeah, they max you out about 6 months.
So, bro, we sat here and asked the Most High to spare the life of your mama. You understand? And we watch. I'm talking about the very next day they discharged. I know when I got up, like very next day they discharged.
They discharged
them. You know what I mean? And it's just a beautiful thing to hear reports like, all right, man, she ain't just playing bingo. She winning bingo. She up on the phone. She running her mouth like she be running her mouth. All right, she all good then. You know what I mean? So all praises, brother. And definitely, you know, we need to be thankful for the now moments. Right now, I'm thankful for right now. Right now is what I'm thankful for. You dig? For what is eternity but a whole bunch of right now moments.
Right now.
Together. Right now, brother. You know what I mean? So I'm just thankful for that. Thankful for the right now.
I'm thankful for all y'all right now, too. So hallelujah. Torah, Bob, Mishpachah. You know what I'm saying? Baruch. Bless all y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm lost for words. I'm just at awe at just watching her. You know, they roll her out, sit her right in front of me. We have a regular conversation. I said, how you doing, Mama? She said, in love with you, I thought you knew. You know how she talks. In love with you, I thought you knew. How you doing? How my grandbaby? Then she going asking how everybody else doing. You know, tell my sons and tell everybody I love them and da-da-da-da-da. But she was always the type like, give me my roses while I'm alive, you know.
Right.
And, you know, I'm just at awe.
Hallelujah.
I'm not disbelief. I'm just at awe.
Yeah, all don't mean disbelief. All mean I'm just in reverence of the power of the Almighty, man.
Yes.
You understand? Yes. So all praise and glory now to the Most High. That's what's up. I got a video. It's like 2 minutes. I'm gonna show y'all real quick, and then let's get into it. Y'all see the title? This is a pre-Passover chop shop. Passover tomorrow evening. Going into the unleavened bread, which will be Sunday. You dig? So we're gonna be live tomorrow too, but we're gonna actually be feasting Sunday with unleavened bread. You dig? So from April the 2nd, which is tomorrow evening, all the way to April the 9th at evening is the unleavened bread, the feast of unleavened bread. You dig? So all praise and glory now, based off the 364-day creator's calendar that we decided to adapt and roll with, because it just make all the sense in the world to us. To somebody else, it may not make sense. Well, you know, it's all good. You know, but us through this years of being around and being on the actual committees and planning feasts and having to readjust calendars and days, and it just make more sense that everything is system and order with the Almighty. It makes sense. 364 days. And then everything hits the same day every year. You know what I mean? Like it's all systematic and in order. So it's all good. Look at YAH'KI. I'm coming over for sure.
You know he is.
All over YAH'KI Eleazar. You and your fam. Y'all know y'all all good. Bless up. Bless up. You dig? And you know, everybody know the direction Honor and Humility is taking dealing with the flesh pots and all that. So for one of the things or questions that we get is how y'all keep Passover. Yeah, and y'all gotta eat some lamb. You know, you eat lamb or you ain't keeping Passover, and then you sinning, and you know, so all that. But what I want to show y'all real quick, it's just a 2-minute video, is about you know, when we went into the land of Canaan, y'all, it was already rituals and different things that you read in your Bible today that was already going on then. All right. A lot of people don't want to get into the topic of how the Tanakh was compiled. A lot of people don't want to get into the subject either of how the New Testament was compiled, like under what council, what authority, who chose this to be stamped, New Testament, who chose this to be stamped, the Tanakh, which is the law and the prophets, or what you call the Old Testament. Who chose it, under whose authority? You understand? Then you know you also got to bring the scribes in as well. But this video I want to show y'all is titled Near Eastern Roots. Near Eastern Roots, Ancient Syrian Zukru Festival. It's only 2 minutes long. You know, if y'all been watching the last few videos we did, you'll see we've been going into that. You did. We read something off JSTOR, which is the journal storage. It's been around since 1995. Articles on there talking about the Zukru Festival and you know, the different stuff they be finding, the Enuma Elish and the Epics of Gilgamesh, and there's all type of stuff that's out there. You dig? But what I wanted to show y'all is this right here. It's called Near Eastern Roots, right? And then it says Ancient Syrian Zukru Festival. All right, the ancient ritual, the Zukru Festival, is the earliest Syrian example. Now watch this. This says of an autumnal New Year. Now trip off that, because you got some of those of the Jewish faith that keep the New Year in the autumn. They call it
Rosh Hashanah.
The Rosh Hashanah, right? Right. You know, us is Israelites, we do it in the spring, but there are those of the Jewish persuasion that say New Year is autumn. All right. Example of an autumnal New Year festivals, drawing comparisons. Look at this with the Israelite feasts. Look at this of unleavened bread and drum roll, the Feast of Tabernacles or Booths. The Zukru marks a new beginning when the city of Emor, when you read in your Bible, the Amorites, all right, that's what we're talking about. Emor is rededicated to the city's chief deity, Dagon. The festival marks a sabbatical year, and the whole seventh year, the whole what? Seventh year. We got that in the scriptures too. Was set apart for the festival, reminiscent of Israel's sabbatical year, Leviticus 25, 1-7. In this text, Dagon's passage between upright stones outside the city appears to be reestablished. Reestablish Dagon's dedication, rule over the city. All right. So this is 2 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and put it up in the link for y'all or the chat for y'all so y'all can check it out. All right. And y'all over here, we about truth and we about spiritual progression. All right.
Brother, running, grab me a bottle of water and a few snacks.
We got to get out. We got to get out of that spirit of not wanting to receive truth because we're comfortable with where we at. You got to get out of that. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You find out the truth. Dang, I was in error. Let me move this way now. Let me move a little different. I was in error doing that. So I want to show y'all this. You understand? Because we make a boast and we make a claim. You know what I mean? What up, cuz? Look, Ian came. My cuz. What up, Ian? My beloved brother, bless up, cuz. Blessed to you and your family. But we make a claim that the Most High is set apart. You understand? There is no deities or no gods or whatever compared to them. All right. What we are doing, we are under the vibration that no other nation, like none of us knew that those that were living in the land of Canaan had festivals that are in some cases identical and in some cases similar to what we've been doing in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. You understand? So it's all about using our minds, you understand, to actually walk in the essence of the Creator. All right. If we realize what we are doing is all right, well, some of the things that we're doing is not well pleasing to the Creator, then within ourselves will we stop and do what pleases him. All right. That's all it comes down to. All right. Every tub got to sit on its own bottom, though. Every man or woman can only move off what convicts them or what inspires them. That's it. That's it. You understand? But I want to show y'all this. You feel me? Because a lot of people don't realize that what we have is an amalgamated text, is different histories from the surrounding nations, you understand, merged into one in some cases. You know what I mean? Not everything, but in some cases it is. And that's why you can see some of this stuff. All right. So let me share this real quick. Nehemiah, you got something else you want to say before I play this? Nehemiah must be away from the computer. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and share this real quick for y'all. Bye. All right. Again, this ain't number 2 minutes, but I want to share it with you. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to show y'all what I was reading earlier. Over here in the description, this is the description of the video. So y'all can see that. All right, so y'all can see that. All right, now trip off this. I'm going to read it again. It says the ancient ritual, the Zukru festival, is the earliest Syrian example of an autumnal New Year festival, drawing comparisons with the Israelite feast of unleavened bread. Okay, so some of the things you about to look at, you feel me, are very similar to what we are celebrating. All right. An audible New Year festival drawing comparisons with the Israelite feast of unleavened bread and booths. Booths is tabernacle. All right, the Sukkot, the Zukru. The Zukru marks a new beginning when the city of Emor was rededicated to the city's chief deity, Dagon. The festival marks a sabbatical year, and the whole 7th year was set apart for the festival, reminiscent of Israel's sabbatical year, Leviticus 25, 1-7. And that goes into the Jubilees. Leviticus 25 is the section in what you call the law about the Jubilee law. All right. Now, trip off this. The Amorites were already keeping the festival just like that. In this text, Dagon's passage between upright stones outside the city appears to reestablish Dagon's dedication / rule over the city. Okay, so y'all see that? Oh, dang. Okay, there we go. My bad, y'all.
This is the Oyo personal.
Hold on.
Jim, I've sold over 100,000 units. It uses
let's eat. Let's
my
get her done.
Spireflex
You know what I
resistance
mean?
technology. I first developed for NASA.
Let me skip that. All right. Put it on the full screen. Let's eat.
During the next year, in the first month, on the 14th day, they distribute the enclosed lambs to the gods. On the next day, the 15th, or Shagar day, they bring out Dagon, Lord of the Firstborn, along with all gods and the Shasha Benana, spirits, in procession to the gate of the upright stones. Dagon's face is covered for his departure. They give to the gods the offerings as prescribed on the tablet. They bring out in procession Dagon, the very father, and Shagar on the same day. Also, the Shagar day breads for all Imar go back up. Just before evening, Dagon passes between the upright stones. During the next year, in the first month, on the 14th day, they distribute the enclosed lambs to the gods. On the next day, the 15th, or Shagar day, they bring out Dagon, Lord of the Firstborn, along with all gods and the Shasha Benana, spirits, in procession to the gate of the upright stones. Dagon's face is covered for his departure.
Y'all hearing this? We got what we got. We got 14th day of the first month next year. Y'all see that?
That's a parallel.
Right out the gate. He talking about the next year, first month, 14th day. Then it goes into the, but notice what's happening. There are lambs being slain on an altar. Right? So is it a coincidence that Israel is having a Passover at the very same time that those who are indigenous to the land of Canaan are having their what's called a Zukru festival? Think about all these lambs are being killed. There's a group saying we are the chosen and we are killing these lambs for our feast, our festival. You know what I mean? It's got to do with the Lord's spirit passing over us, right? Somebody else, another group of people geographically in the same area, right, are killing lambs on the same day at the same time on altars. But guess who it's going to? It's going to Dagon. Oh, wait, Nehemiah, talk to me.
And then look, if your God supposed to be set apart and your God supposed to be different or not likened to any other God, you got a problem. You got a serious problem. And this is where your naysayers and your Egyptologists and all these other people can come along and speak against your God, saying that your God is just like the gods of Egypt or gods of Africa. Now, I would be like, okay, yeah, Africa as far as geolocation that Israel dwells in, but you in trouble. And especially when you can draw a parallel to the same day, draw a parallel to the exact count of 14 days, and the same sacrifices presented to their God. And we understand that their God was a real deity. The Catholic Church still carried their God going on in their worships, if you're really paying attention. So with that being said, hey, Shalom, Blake, or Yashia. Hope you're having a good Passover or getting ready for a good Passover down there in Florida. I talked to Bruh earlier. But dealing with the video, it would make more sense to me, especially in us learning deeper into the Nazarene way of living and walk that Hamashiach walked in along with his brother James and the rest of them and those following thereafter during the first century. When you read, go back and look at these things, it would make sense that your God that didn't give you the order to eat meat wouldn't be trying to accept no meat offering. Do that make sense? I hope that makes sense to y'all.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
especially if you have a God that says that I change not, I'm the same yesterday, today, forevermore, then you have to go in here and look, well, okay, I gave you this diet out of creation. And then now here go a diet that I didn't give you, a diet that matches and worships that matches other deities. How can you call your God holy or set apart if it has the same image, right, as the other deities? And if you worship the Most High indeed and in truth, check this out. There's no blood needed. There's no murder of his creation needed. You see what I'm saying? Now you're starting to make sense. Okay, well, okay, this God is different. He's not requiring a sacrifice. He would rather have mercy and obedience than sacrifice. So once you have an understanding that's what it is, then you can start now seeing your God stepping out of the shadow, which he should never be in, of these other deities that they try to line him up with. But you have to understand the people that gave you this, the scribes as we talked about, are the people who have been under the instruction and vibration of these other deities since we came out of Egypt. Because when you sit here and you look at, okay, he built a golden calf. That golden calf had a name. It was a Molech. Look up that name and see what it looked like. And then your God told you through the prophet that you built your tabernacles to Molech and Sheun when you get to Amos.
Makes sense, don't it?
It makes sense.
Here, let me, this is a short video, Nee. Let me run this.
No, go ahead and run it, bro.
And then let's get her done. All right, let me run this real quick. I want y'all to pay attention. It's real short. This is like a 2-minute video. But strip off all the similarities and examples. All right. What we doing really set apart and holy. Because if it is, then guess what? We shouldn't be finding no other infidels. We shouldn't find nobody else serving their so-called false God like we serve ours. All right. Now watch this.
During the next year, in the first month, on the 14th day, they distribute the enclosed lambs to the gods. On the next day, the 15th, or Shagar day, they bring out Dagon, Lord of the Firstborn, along with all gods, and the Shashabenana spirits in procession to the gate of the upright stones. Dagon's face is covered for his departure. They give to the gods the offerings as prescribed on the tablet. They bring out in procession Dagon, the very father, and Shagar on the same day. Also the Shagar day breads for all Imar go back up. Just before evening, Dagon passes between the upright stones. They cover his face. In the battle gate, they perform the rites just as for the consecration day. The breads and the meat that were before the gods go back up into the town. On the 6th day, they distribute the enclosed lambs to the gods, just as mentioned previously. On the 7th day, Dagon, along with all the gods and the Shashabenana spirits, goes out in procession, his face covered. They give the ritual requirements to the gods, just as for the day mentioned previously. all the meat and breads, everything that they eat, from the 7 days and from between the upright stones they take up and place in return. Nothing goes back up into the midst of the town. After the fire, just before evening, they uncover Dagon's face. The wagon of Dagon passes between the upright stones. He proceeds to Ninurta, whom they have mount the wagon with him. They perform the rites just as for the day mentioned previously.
Why I drink mushrooms every morning. I used to drink a lot of coffee. And I got honest with myself. Coffee often made me feel anxious and
That's it for that one. Let me go ahead and make sure y'all got that in the chat too. There's something real quick. Y'all go back and look at last 2 videos. We went into it a little more deeper. You know what I mean? Just constantly show everybody what we talking about. You dig? Straight up. Bless up. Bless up. All right. Let me stop sharing that real quick. And Nehemiah, you just said something that was very, very powerful, brother. And that's what I want to do. All right. I want to go to that Amos you just was talking about. Then we're going to look up. We're going to actually look up this Molech dude. We're going to look up an image of Molech. All right.
And Aaron never apologized for that.
Nah, he didn't.
And in reality, if we brought you a fake God out, presented it to you, to the fact what a real God we should be worshiping gets mad against us, this is the people that you want to be your priest? And you see the corruption, the priesthood has fallen all the way until the time of Hamashiach. So I guess we could really honestly say they did a piss poor job. Excuse my choice of words, but it's the truth.
Absolutely. So what I want to do, I'm going to share this Amos real quick. And then I'm going to pull something out too. I might go ahead and pull a dagger out. Let y'all see what's going on here with your boy Aaron. All right. I ain't never pulled this one out. Okay. All right, y'all should be able to see that file. All right. And then we're going to look up. And it's going to blow y'all mind what this joker looking like, man. It's going to blow y'all mind. All right. All right, Nehemiah, big homie. If you can, let's go ahead and get that Amos 5, 25 to 27. That's something you just brought up. Very, very powerful. Very powerful.
Right. Amos chapter 5, verse 25. Have ye offered unto me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Israel? But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Molech and Sheum, your images, the star of your God, which ye made to yourselves.
Oh, wait. So that's a question. Verse 25 is a question. The Most High is asking, was that to me you was offering to in the wilderness 40 years, house of Israel? All right. Now, if we just follow the biblical narrative, then everybody would have to assume, yeah, there was sacrificing in the wilderness. I mean, after all, we had to keep all the feast days for 40 years in the wilderness, right? We had to do all type of, the priests had to set up the tabernacles and the altars and, you know, the Ark of the Covenants and all types of, look, the Day of Atonement, the blood sprinkling on the altar, different peace offerings, Thanksgiving offerings, sin offerings, whole burnt off, like all that had to be going on. Meaning meaning the quote unquote priests were administering in the tabernacle in the wilderness. Yes, they were sacrificing. So the Almighty is asking through Amos, a real prophet, he asked a question. Was that done to me? Your average Israelite gonna say, yeah, we will sacrifice to the Most High. But verse 26 is the answer. The answer, y'all, is no, that wasn't him. He say, but you have borne the tabernacle of your Molech. Remember, the question is what you've been doing to the Almighty?
40 years.
For 40 years. Was that to the Almighty?
He didn't say year 1 through 10, 20 through 30, 25 through 35. He counted the whole 40-year run he was talking about. We got to pay attention to that. Because some Israelites try to stick. Well, that wasn't the whole time. No, bro. And we got David repeating that same thing.
Exactly. So the answer, y'all, is a no. And I'm going to show the other version that says no. All right. That's a question he's asking. And the answer is no, that was not to them. If you are listening right now and you are under the illusion that the Israelites, our people, were sacrificing to the Most High in the wilderness for 40 years, I love to be the bearer of bad news. We weren't sacrificing to the Most High. We weren't. We weren't. All Israelites duck this right here. They don't want to deal with this. Because now you got to be real with yourself. Now you got to be real with yourself. Well, hold on. He asked a question, and if we was sacrificing to him, what is he asking the question for? If that went to him or not? If he commanded us to sacrifice to him, even when we was in the wilderness, then why is he asking us if we sacrifice to him for 40 years?
Exactly. Exactly, right? Bro.
So the answer is no, but you have borne the tabernacle of your Molech and Chiun, your images, the star of who? Your God, which you made to yourselves. That's what you was doing in the wilderness for 40 years, a rebellious forefathers. They were carrying the tabernacle of Molech. That's a god. That's a false god. And Chiun, your images. So along with the god came the images.
And the type of worship.
And what? The star of your God, which you made to yourselves. That was the true about this, y'all. Israel, believe it or not, was under the inspiration of the false god. Because the creator is saying through Amos, Isaiah's father, that wasn't to me. Y'all was serving the false gods. You were serving the false gods. Right? Now, the crazy part about it, it ain't only Amos saying it. We can go to Hosea next. It ain't just Amos saying it. All right? Now, look at this. Because that was not the worship of the creator that we were doing for 40 years, walking in a circle. That very same 40 years of walking in a circle is what the modern Hebrew Israelite movement is based on. 40 years of error in the wilderness. And so we can go ahead and come on outside and say that the majority of the Hebrew Israelites that's involved in it and the movement today is up under the vibration of the false gods. I ain't saying it. If your movement is based off 40 years of wandering in the wilderness, 40 years of error, when they were worshiping false gods who were fronting like they were the creator, then guess what? You got to come on out and be real and say, you know what? Shit, Israel's under the vibration of the false gods. So it's nothing personal. You dig? We just going to hit the God body. That's it. We just got to take down the gods, the false gods that is. You know what I mean? Now, because of this, therefore will I cause you to go into slave captivity beyond Damascus, saith the Creator. You see this? That's crazy because now watch this. Now notice we look at Molech, right? You say Molech. Nehemiah, let me go ahead and look up an image of Molech. Matter of fact, you the one put me on this.
Man, put it, bro.
You the one put me on this because I had never looked up an image of this sucker. I never looked him up. Now trip off this thing. Blew my mind. I say, wow. And to be real, they got a few images of them. Trip off one of these renderings of Molech. Blew my mind.
So what you should be seeing, Israel, is the scriptures are perfectly lining up. Like what Mally is saying, we're going to see also in King David and Psalms 95, we're going to hear Hosea. And we're hearing Amos now. It's also in Jeremiah too. But what you're going to see is a pictorial proof of this golden calf and who Molech is. That should bring the script to what Amos is saying to full fruition.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let me go ahead and do this. All right, stop sharing. Let me go ahead and share this real quick. Got you. It's real simple. Molech, go to images. I just simply went to go, Google Molech, go to images. All right, now let's go ahead and find y'all one that's right in your face. Oh, wait, that's one right there, Nehemiah. There's so many of them. I'll start with this one. This deal say Molech Incorporated. Creative resistance. Wow. Wow. Now, there he is right there. This is one of the many images. All right. Now trip off this, y'all. What does that look like to y'all? What does that look like to y'all? This is the head of Molech. What is that? What is the first thing that run across your mind when you see that? I'm gonna look at the chat. Look at the chat, Nehemiah. Let's see if they caught it. Yeah, yeast is Israelite golden calf. That's right, Deanne Tubson. That's the golden calf. That's the golden calf that Aaron built. Wow. That's right, Yeshaya. That's right. That's another one too. Baphomet is the golden calf. That's what Aaron built in the wilderness. He built Molech and said, these be your gods that delivered you. He gave the honor that's due to the creator to the false deity, the false god. That's the golden calf right there. That's one of them. Let me find some more for y'all. Everybody else saying golden calf, absolutely. Israelite blood, the yeast. Yeast is symbolic about sin. So absolutely, get removed to the best of your ability. Don't go crazy. Don't start, shaving, scraping paint off the walls or nothing like that. We know Israelites that go crazy. Ain't nothing with that makes something rise at all be in your cupboards. Negroes be scraping paint off the wall and everything. Yeah, so get the yeast out as much as you can, but the focus of the yeast is about removing sin out of your life. Yeast or leaven is symbolic for sin in the scriptures, beastly nature. Unleavened represents righteousness. All right. So yeah, to the best of your ability, brother, but focus more on removing the iniquity out of your heart, if that makes sense. All right. Now, y'all trip off that. That's one image of your boy. My one bro say the Chicago Bulls. You ain't lying. You ain't lying, bro. The Chicago Bulls. Wonder who they got as they mascot. Could it be Molech? All right, here's another one of Molech. There's a gang of these deals, man. Look at this sucker right here. Here go a golden Molech. Now look at this one. Look at that boy there.
Notice that it says it's a god of Canaan.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee,
so where did Aaron learn that God from?
Ooh-wee, Nehemiah.
Come on, y'all. And it's no different. Listen, and don't act like we not these people. What do you mean? Because the same as our people this day, we done spent over 400 years here. You hear me? 400 years if you use the time frame of 1619, right? Some run old, sooner, some run a little bit later. But we can go to a place in time and definitely say that the production of mass cargo of slaves, right? So what happened to us while we're here? We forgot our language, our name, our God, our historical place in the planet as far as land mass or land particular inside that land mass we call Africa. We definitely forgot our God. You see what I'm saying? And so what have we picked up? We have picked up what just passed. New Year's, we picked up what just passed. Valentine's Day, Lupercalia. New Year's, Janus. We done picked up Saint Nick. We done picked up Sam Hain. You heard all these pagan gods? We done picked up every pagan god and its worship. Easter, what they doing now, to Ishtar. We done picked up every pagan God and its full form of worship, and we try to do it better than any other person we learned it from. That's how I know we these people. And we'll be the same people that would have got this form of worship in the wilderness, which was clearly said that was not to the Most High, which David said we never knew his ways in the wilderness. That's why we'll never enter in his rest. Ooh. Just even saying that is scary. And it's the same thing that we make normalized to this day. Christmas is normalized. New Year's is normalized. St. Patrick's Day, that passed. That's normalized. Everything that's wicked is normalized. So it makes sense that we had these wicked ways coming out of Egypt and perpetuated upon the children of Israel as divine worship and continued on to this day. That's what you got. I'm going to give you another secret, right? Because according to the script, right, you're supposed to sprinkle the blood on the Ark of the Covenant, right? Well, the Ark of the Covenant wasn't around during the time of Hamashiach, right? Would y'all agree? The question is, was the Ark of the Covenant around during the birth and life of Hamashiach? Give me a 1 for yes or 2 for no.
No.
I got a no from Mally. Was the Ark of the Covenant around during the time of Hamashiach? 1 for yes, 2 for no. All right, we got 1. At least give me 2. And make sure y'all hit them thumbs up, man. It's very important that you hit them thumbs up or thumbs down. Get them algorithms popping so this word can go forth and spread and show up in feeds. All right, so now we know that the Ark of the Covenant. Now, we say that Hamashiach was not a sinner. So during the time of all these feasts, it wasn't no Ark of the Covenant to sprinkle blood on. But Israel wasn't counting his sin with that. And Hamashiach never went to the temple to offer up no sacrifice on record and sprinkle no blood on the Ark of the Covenant. And like the Most High said, you thought you would have learned by all these times I carried you into captivity and destroyed your temples, that I didn't want your blood and your sacrifices. You see what I'm saying? So you don't need blood for atonement, right? And you don't need to kill no animal for atonement. And you even get that in the New Testament. Blood and bullocks can never satisfy. So what I'm saying is, Hamashiach was never counted as sin. He never went up. He never made no sacrifices at the temple. You don't see him buying nothing. You see him freeing the animals and turning over the money tables and freeing the animals, right? And calling them guiltless. But here it is. We done normalized everything that was wicked. That's how you know we those people, man. And we got to come up out of that. because God made a covenant with the animals and with us to live. That's Genesis 6. When we came across and we survived that flood, and when he went to go get food for us, we all ate from the land. They wasn't in that ark tearing each other up, ripping the skin off each other, swallowing each other. But now we do that. And then we say, God changed not. And that's why people don't even come to our God, because we give them such confusing messages, confusing worships, confusing understandings, incomplete understandings. You see what I'm saying? So it's just something we should look at. And you can't say that these, because listen, you can pull up day God yourself and look up his versions of worship and what was required. It's not nothing to anybody. You can look up Molech, how he was worshipped, what was required. So you can say that Malachi or Nehemiah made this up. And then see that some of them similarities, but that's what YAH'KI Malaki was telling y'all early on when this was first coming out. You have divine worship mixed with pagan worship. Shalom, shalom. So yeah, man, this is a little bit I just had to add, bro. But yeah, we're definitely looking at Molech, this bull god, which was a sacrifice, or which was an idol in Canaan, perpetuated, given to our people that Aaron never apologized for. And then he is the holiest man, and his seed is the holiest people on the planet to give us the laws thereof. Come on, y'all. At some point, you got to wake up and smell the coffee. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, y'all. I mean, it's easy for me. I see it. I mean, the research is done. Episode 69 or part 69, we're showing over and over again, adding new information, bringing more things to the table so that you can make a righteous decision. We ain't pushing nothing. If it don't jive with your spirit, hey, all praise to the Most High. Maybe one day you'll get it. Maybe you won't get it, you know. But what I'm trying to tell y'all, God gave the covenant, the rainbow, and the promise to man and his creation, aka the animals. So I don't know why we sitting there doing all this. I gotta have something in my gut. We've been without meat for I don't count like Mally do. Mally counts. I just know I ain't had none. So and I'm doing just fine.
This month it's been a year. It's been a year this month. Like about 2 weeks, yo.
Doing this
whole year. All praise to the Creator. All right, so look, I wanted to go there. This is a dag I'm about to bring out. I'm about to bring to the. I've been had this. Shout out to the elder Dimitri Milliken. When I went to see the brother, he actually put this in my hand. Said, "That's all you, young king." All right, the Book of Remembrance, the first and second books of HERBAL. That brother name is my brother. HERBAL was a brother that was in the wilderness with the Israelites. All right. Some of y'all got this. Some of y'all got this. Again, the Book of Remembrance, the first and second books of HERBAL. I wanted to actually take a, that's probably what I need to do, Nehemiah. Take a picture of what I'm going to read first. That way I can share it up on the screen with everybody. What you think? Or should I
That's a good idea.
Huh?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, let me go ahead and take a picture. Go ahead and keep talking. I'm about to take I got to take a picture of like about 5 pages on her. Then I'm going to email them to me. You know what I mean? And then I'm going to download them and then pull them up so everybody can see. All right? Just give me a second. Go ahead and keep doing your thing. I'll be done. Give me about 2 minutes. I'll be ready.
Boy, I ain't long with it, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you is. What is you talking about?
But yeah, so just sitting here going through. So look, I'm also gonna pull a script real quick. I'm gonna pull this. If y'all want to go with me here real quick, so we can see that as well. I'll put it in the room. I gotta flip between tabs. Now I don't have direct access to the channel, the page like Malak do. He still is a owner operator. But if y'all get that that Psalms 95, 8 and 11, we can read that real quick. just to see. And I'll read it real quick. I can't pull it on the screen, but I can put it in verse by verse. I can do that. And then we can go from there. Unless one of y'all want to put in the verses as I read them. I'm at 9. Well, I might as well go ahead and do 10 and 11 since I did that much. Then go back and read it. Bam. One more verse. And these are those type of scriptures that should have you frighteningly scared. When you read stuff like this, all right. So I got all the verses in the room, 8 through 11. Torah Rabbi, Brandon. I'm starting at verse 8. I did put it in there. But it says, look at this. It says, harden not your heart, as in the day of provocation, and as in the day of temptation in the wilderness. Watch this. When your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my work 40 years long. So again, I tell you, people cannot run with that mindset. Well, that was probably for the first 10 years, or maybe it was probably about, year 20 through 20, 25, or 20 through 30. It wasn't a whole 40. No, it's a second witness. So you got a witness from a prophet that came after David, and you got a witness from David himself, the king. Now, mind you, he had did a lot of stuff prior to this, but he came to a realization that, man, look, 40 years long was I grieved with this generation, and said, it is a people that do error in their heart, and they have not known my ways. So when you come across scriptures like this, and then it tells you, unto whom I swear in my wrath, they should not enter into my rest. That is over the level. That should have you shaking in your knees. You should be sleep shaking. That what you got 40 years in the wilderness handed down to you was not the ways of the Most High in totality. They do error. Now we know that there are feast days of the Most High because we see Hamashiach observing those feasts. We see his mother and father, observing the feast. We see his cousins and his disciples observing the feast. So we know the feasts are there, but what's being brought to the table, this is the problem you have to understand, that Aaron and these scribes, because remember, what you have as Torah is not what you had back in the time of Moses. Remember, you had the books that were burned in Babylon. Read that in Ezra. And then also in Maccabees, during that Maccabean revolt, they were burned again. So that's why Christ was dealing harshly with the scribes. Everybody's about the Pharisees and the Sadducees. But the scribes was his number ones he was on. Usually, in most cases, you see the word scribes before you see Pharisees and Sadducees. So he banged against that because why? They were in charge of giving the law, especially to a people. See, today you got Bibles in your hand, on your phone, and your apps, and everywhere. Back then, they were the only ones in charge and in full possession of the Holy Scrolls. So the average Israelite couldn't touch them, open them, read them, didn't even know how to read the Hebrew. You had to be learned. So that all the Israel couldn't even read or understand or even access what you have access to today. Especially to open up and go to a specific book and a specific chapter and find what you're trying to find. Unlike Hamashiach, when he opened up the book of Isaiah and went right to the passage where he was looking for, saying today this prophecy is fulfilled. So when you sit here and read scriptures like this and understand that what we had in the wilderness, that Aaron and them was given to us, was not totally divine worship. I'm sorry. The Most High gave things to Moses. Aaron and them mingled up with it. Then Moses kind of tried to pacify Israel. And how we know that? We can read what? Matthew 19. You have to see the clues inside of the stories. When he's talking to the Pharisee about Moses and about the law of divorce, Christ said from the beginning. And notice that's how the Messiah taught. From the beginning, it was not so. So something from the beginning to the times of the Pharisees given to Israel to the time of Mashiach, things were changed and added and done. Just like the washing of hands and all that. Even when you have the book that the priest got, I forgot what that book called right off the top of my hand, that they hold even higher than the Torah sometimes in most cases. What's the book that the priest got? Not Mishnah. It's the Mishnah. Not Mishnah. Anyway, the oral, I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, I ain't gonna spend too much time. It'll come to me. But Talmud, there it goes. Torah Rabbah. See, the Talmud, they hold that more valuable than the Torah in most places because it was the priest ideologies. So when you have stuff like the Talmud in place and they hold it to a high level of the Torah, then you already know, you know what I'm saying? You dealing with something already corrupt and already known that is no good. Especially when you got Zadok in the kingdom doing sacrifices where there's no more death and death in the grave is swallowed up. So again, you have to look at and be honest with yourself about scriptures. There are things that don't line up. It is. It's contradictions. But you who's supposed to be able to rightly divide the word and be a light should be able to see through this. So dealing back with the situation with from the beginning. Now, Christ already said, well, yeah, I see where y'all added the divorce in there. Moses gave y'all that. We didn't give you that. My father didn't give you that. Moses gave you that. For the hardness of your heart, he suffered you to put away your wife for any cause. And then Christ came and gave you the better understanding. But I say unto you, right? He goes to the beginning. He made them, Adam and Eve, and what God put together, let no man put asunder. You see what I'm saying? And then he gave you only one thing, except it be for fornication, which means she going off to another god or another covering. So, you know, it's a done deal anyway. But what it allows you to see is that Moses gave you something to pacify you while in the wilderness. And if that's true for that, and we see these type of writings like this that said, you never knew my ways, and in their hearts they did error for these 40 years, and then you see Amos telling you further down the line that you offered your tabernacle to Molech and to Sheun, and then we pull up pictures and you type in Molech, and you will see that Molech is the same golden calf that you was dealing with, which is a pagan idol to all of Canaan. Then you have to start questioning everything. And this ain't talking about don't believe in the Most High. We ain't never saying that. Or Hamashiach, never saying that. But follow Hamashiach in the way that it was supposed to be according to his Father's original will. That's all we saying. So when it comes to dealing with divorce now, right? Because a lot of us in the past coming into the truth, dealing with our daughters, had our daughters and something went wrong, we put our daughters away and gave them a bill of divorce. You see what I'm saying? I'm even guilty. But I had fornication, I was good. But in past. But what I'm saying is that except it be for fornication, there's no other reason to put your wife away. Adam never put away Eve. Nabal and good Lord, 2 Samuel, Abigail. Nabal and Abigail, they never separated. Hell, Jezebel and her husband never separated. You see what I'm saying? So it makes sense when Christ come along and say what he say. And all the other things that he said. You know, talking about sacrifices and, you know, cheerful givers and things of that nature. And it's not all about actual increments of the 10% and all that. No, it's a cheerful giver, a heart. You know what I'm saying? That's full of love and charity that will give all that it has to make sure that everybody can have a little something. The same love that would allow you when you pick your fields, according to the Torah, and you would place stocks in your corners so that people who had not can access. So the whole thing about what Christ was giving was pure love, pure teaching, going against the hypocrisy. Oh, man, y'all can't come in here and eat the food. And duh, 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 duh. He said, well, David came here and ate the food. What you mean? Then going there and talking about, oh, well, y'all going off and y'all sinning. Well, y'all sinning too because y'all are here working on the Shabbat and making and cooking food and show bread and all that. Are you catching what I'm saying? I know Malaki got me on talking, but are y'all really following what I'm really saying? Not just spinning the wheel. I mean, are you really following what I'm saying? 1 for yes or 2 for no. There's a lot of things you read, and we always tell you, we're not going to tell you that it's not there. It is there. But you have to filter through the noise. There's enough information in the Bible for you to see that there is noise going on. How do you filter through the noise? Follow the witnesses, follow Hamashiach, and follow the Father. And if your Father is supposed to be set apart from all these other gods, then there could be no like action of those other gods in him. If God created evil. But then Christ told you he didn't create evil. He who failed created evil. Who are you going to believe? Well, if evil there, God did it. You know. So you believe your God is evil. You know, bash the baby's heads on the stone. I can't wait till that day, man. I'm just grab me up a whole bunch of heathen babies and slam them on the stone. But then the same God from the old, right, wanted you to be a light to all nations. How you a light to all nations when you bashing her baby's heads to the stone? Right? Go in there and kill them all and take their women and, you know, give them 30 days or more and have your way with them. Cut the hair and the nails and all that, the war clause. And we, boy, I had an Israelite here locally, boy, that tried to run it. This is my slave. Boy, you ain't paid for nothing. You ain't conquered nothing. You ain't killed a heathen. And you dang sure didn't cut her hair and her fingernail. But you just had a strong lust to sleep with a heathen. But all I'm saying is, y'all, we can filter through the noise successfully, especially with the uncovering of stuff like the Dead Sea Scrolls and the other writings that we done came across, like what Malaki is working on right now. And you can clearly see that you've been bamboozled, but all praises to the Most High that he gave you the eyes and gave you the grace and mercy to go the distance to find this out. So definitely we want to stay vigilant in our studies, stay focused on what we're doing so we can get to the place that our Father wants us to be. He wants us to be in that same vibration of body that he created, which we are his temple. He wants us to be in the same vibration of love and life as it was from the beginning when he saved us and our animals, right? And he wants us to be in the same place with his son, walking in total agreement with him and doing his will. And his will is not grievous. See what I'm saying? Dino, our brother Michael, the Battle Axe, Dino done traveled to St. Louis on the Hebrews. He said, boy, I'm coming to fellowship. All praise, bro. Hey, welcome, man. Welcome to the city again. It's like home for you. Definitely be trying to get with you either tonight or definitely tomorrow. Maybe we'll catch some breakfast or something, hang out. You know, do the brotherly thing with the families. But y'all, we got to pay attention, man. Don't get caught up. The Most High brought us a mighty long way, and we should be seeing the powerful revelations that are coming. Malachi is back.
Yep, let's get her done. I want to go ahead and go behind that. What we read in Amos. Then we pulled up the image of Molech. Then we did that. And and you mentioned something about Aaron, how Aaron never repented. You understand? And Marcus Israel, our beloved brother, said the same thing in the chat, which was like, you know what? I ain't never bring out this information I ended up receiving from one of our beloved brothers, one of our beloved elders, Dimitri Milligan, when I went to see the brother. In fact, it was last year around this time, when everything started kicking off right after the Passover. Yeah, like a bomb went off in Israel. But here, let me show y'all some of this, right? Let me show y'all it's actually some histories out there that go into how Aaron didn't repent. Even though we can just read the scriptures and show he didn't repent nowhere. We ain't seeing him repenting nowhere, right? But there are also histories out there. Now, whether it resonates with your spirit or not, that's on you. We just simply presenting the information. You understand? But further proof that Israel was and still is up under the vibration of the false gods. All right? It's either the creator you serving or you up under the vibration of the false gods that guided Israel in a circle for 40 years. You understand? And then by the time we got into what's called the promised land, we just, picked up more. You see? It's a reason why the Messiah had one of his main enemies were the scribes. Those who are in charge of writing down the histories, writing down the scriptures, and interpreting them. The one who was promised to come through Moses had a problem with the men who had the authority of writing the scriptures and interpreting it, which backs up Jeremiah, because Jeremiah prophesied in Jeremiah 8:8 that the pen of the scribes works false. So everybody knows this. All right, now let me show y'all this. All right, I'm gonna share the screen, entire screen, share.
What pages are we gonna be all making notes already?
I got them right on here. I'll show you. Hold on.
All right, I see it.
I'll show you. 1 second, brother. Hold on. All right, that right there is the book. Y'all can Amazon, whatever. Go ahead and get that deal. Like I say, with the beloved brother, put that right in my hand when I went and seen him. Like, dang, okay, we got to talking about, different perspectives of the Bible and all that. And he was like, I got something for you, young king. The brother was very hospitable. Him, his wife, his family, all of them, man. Much love to the brother. That's the brother with the longest beard in Israel. Y'all know Dimitri Miller, brother. That beard, he braided his beard and it's all the way down. That deal probably sweeping the flow by now. You dig? But very, very hospitable brother. Bless up. Abundant blessings to that brother, man. All right. So what I'm about to pull up now are the pages. All right. I want to show y'all this. Get all this out y'all way real quick. Get out the way. That's the book cover. All right. Page 170 is the first one, Lee. Page 170 through 174. Page 170 through page 174. All right, let me go ahead and blow this on up so y'all can see some of my hair is. All right, kind of jumping in, but notice it says up here, Moses called up to the mountain. Now, we all know when Moses was called up to the mountain, Aaron made the calf, right? Then we all know this. It should not be nothing like, surprising. All right. Now watch this. I have done even according to your word, and see, I have brought out those of the children of Israel who would, and they are now before you, even encamped in the midst of my own land. And Semihazah drew near and mocked Moses, saying that all the people belonged to him, and darkness overshadowed Moses, but the prayers of Moses prevailed, and Moses walked with God. And it came to pass that after many days of struggle in this manner, about this, Moses gone, but he's struggling with a fallen angel or a false spirit. You see that? But notice, prayer is what made Moses victorious. Like we all touch and agree to see a miracle, touch and agree to see a healing. These principles go back to the old world, all right? And it came to pass that after many days of struggle in this manner, the Creator brought unto Moses by means of a dry pool the tablet of the covenant. And Moses rejoiced to behold it. It was in this way that God had restored unto his people the language tablet of Shem. Look at this. Look at this. The language tablet of Shem. We getting some languages together, huh? Now look at this. Know what it says. Restored to Moses. All right. Say it again. That God had restored unto his people the language tablet of Shem that was hid up in the days of Abraham. Howbeit that Moses called it the tablet of Jeshurun, or the covenant tablet of Israel. And the Creator also, and Yahweh also restored to Moses the tablet of the guidance of the Creator that was written by Enoch. Look at that. All this is being restored to Moses. Language. The tablet of guidance of the Creator that was written by Enoch, and which had not been seen by man since Zion fled. For the Almighty had said unto Moses that he intended to establish among his holy nation the city of the Creator. And by this means, the Creator would establish the covenant among his people. All right. And it came to pass that Moses carried these two tablets of stone, and he made an ark of gopher wood to hold them. And the tablets were small as they were phylacteries of the forehead, and the ark of the covenant was held in his hand. Okay, that's page 170. Let's go to page 172. Because page 171 is a picture. Let's go to page 172 next. All right. Look at all this Moses is receiving. All right. The tablet or the language of Shem. Also what Enoch wrote. He receiving tablets that Enoch wrote. All right. Called the tablet of the guidance of the Creator. All right. So now Moses is going back down. All right. And the ark of the covenant is in his hand. Everybody see this. Now watch this. We all know what he about to run into. Everybody knows it. Now watch this. All right, it's page 172. Now, the tablet of Enoch, which YAH'KI had in his possession, was first seen again by man since ancient times, when the Creator spoke thus unto Moses. And it had been completed just 2 days, when the Most High told Moses to make haste and come down from the mountain, for Aaron had corrupted the people. And Moses went down from the mountain with the ark in his hand, and as he drew near, he could hear the shouts and the laughter coming from the camp. And it was on the Shabbat day. Oh, good night. It was on the Shabbat, huh? And he wept. And he wept. And as he drew near, he could see the people were worshiping an image of the God of the king, happy, the golden calf. The golden calf. I don't like the fact they call this bastard happy. An image of the God of the king, happy. The golden calf. All right. Happy in her. And I heard it called Apis before. Anubis. Based off the images we looking at, Molech. All right. The golden calf. And Moses exclaimed to one standing by, from whence comes this idol? And they said, Aaron caused that the people should borrow gold from their fellows before they fled the land of the king. And Moses wept. He fell down on his knees. Now look who's weeping. It ain't Aaron. Moses. Moses. And Moses wept. He fell down on his knees, and the ark was dropped, and it fell open. And the tablet spilled out onto the dust. And he dashed the tablets upon a stone for the overflowing grief of his heart. And he exclaimed, O Most High, how can I place such holy things before the face of those who worship idols? You, O Yahweh, have overcome and subdued the river god Happy before their eyes, and yet they are so quickly turned into. About this time, the people beheld Moses that he was come, and they all stood still and were silent before him. And Moses said, who does make idols in your midst? And they answered, somebody about to get the snitching. Somebody about to get the snitching. Who already
Man, this was done on a Shabbat. They all should have been put to death.
Not the Shabbat. That's crazy. Hold on.
173.
Yep, 173 is next. I got you. Putting everything I ain't using down there. All right. 173. Now watch this. And they said, look what they say. He said, who over making these idols? Look at the people. Aaron.
You know it's Israel, boy. You know that's Israel.
They all probably was pointing at him. And there he is right there. Yo, brother. Aaron. And Moses said, where is Aaron the idol maker? Where is Aaron the idol maker? And Aaron said, here am I. Look at that. And Moses said, you are the one who has been set apart and established as a priest before the Creator. And you make idols? These people have had the Most High establish his tabernacle in their midst, and all their worship is in place. And now they pray to Happy on the Sabbath. And Aaron answered him not a word. Do y'all see this? Look at this. These people have had the Creator establish his tabernacle in their midst, and all their worship is in place. Like Israel already has a worship of the Creator, and now they pray to Happy, the golden calf, on the Sabbath. And Aaron answered him not a word. And Moses said, grind your idol to powder and scatter it abroad on the north side of the camp. And Moses went out and called upon the Creator. And Moses asked the Most High to forgive Aaron. Look at this. Moses asked the Most High to forgive him. Please have mercy on my brother. Please have mercy on him. Now look at this. But the Most High would not. Oh, wait. Moses prayed that the Most High would forgive his brother. Most High wouldn't do it though. If y'all see that, give me a 9 up in the chat. If y'all see that, give me a 9 up in the chat. Moses prayed that Aaron would be forgiven, but the Most High wasn't hearing it. Talk to me, Nehemiah.
We can plainly see, boy, he had that non-repentant heart.
Here it is right here.
And it would make sense for him to cover that part of that story in the scribes' rewriting version of Torah. That makes sense?
Yep. Absolutely. Look at this. But the Most High would not. The Most High declared unto Moses that Aaron was not repentant. So the conclusion we even came up with before we even read this, like, man, I don't recall nowhere where Aaron repented in the actual Bible that we all have, right? This goes a little deeper. The Most High wouldn't forgive Aaron for that. The Most High declared to Moses that Aaron was not repentant, and mischief yet remained in his heart. And Moses went down from the Creator, and he declared unto all the people, even to as many as were able to understand the language of the king, that Aaron and all his sons of his lineage after him could not sprinkle the element of cleansing upon the unclean for purification on the Shabbat for all their generations, because he had polluted the Sabbath with his idols. Do y'all hear this? So the righteousness you do or the wickedness that you involved in, guess what, y'all? It don't only affect those around you right now, but your lineage to come. Aaron and all his sons were banned from sprinkling the element of cleansing upon the unclean for purification on the Sabbath for all their generations. Why? Because his sons didn't even make the idol. He did. Because he had polluted the Shabbat with his idols. Wow. And it came to pass. That Aaron was wroth. Now Aaron get mad. Most High don't want to forgive him. You dig? Him and all his sons banned from even doing any type of purification ritual, period, dealing with the people. So now Aaron gets mad. He ain't repenting, he mad. And it came to pass that Aaron was wroth, and he worked the works of deception, deceit. And he would pretend, trip off this, and he would pretend to have spoken unto Moses. And he would pretend to have spoken unto Moses and bring back a report. And this man Aaron would also pretend unto the high priesthood, and he imagined clothing of finery and gold for the Ark of the Covenant and much status and wealth for himself and his sons after him. And he transformed the tabernacle of Moses. Oh man. So y'all see what Aaron doing?
Oh, look, this is that bank he was
Aaron would
making.
come back to the people with, thus saith the Most High. He would pretend to have spoken unto Moses and bring back a report. Or he would pretend unto the high priesthood. Aaron got mad and worked deception. It started with him. He like, look, I can't be forgiven. Most High ain't gonna forgive me, and me and all my sons throughout all our generations are banned from doing anything, any type of purification rituals upon the people. So guess what he do? He get angry and he start working deception. And then whenever he would show up and open his mouth, he would act as if he just hollered at Moses. Or he would act as if, you know what I mean, these are the commands that Moses got from the Most High concerning him and his son. And he transformed the tabernacle of Moses. Almost done, y'all. And he transformed the tabernacle of Moses. Ooh-wee, somebody mad. Hold on, y'all. Here it is, right here. And he transformed the tabernacle of Moses, and thus did Aaron the idol maker pervert in the eyes of the people the doings of the Creator as to the priesthood, after the manner of the holy order. For has God not said that he himself would herald unto man their calling according to his will, and that such callings came not by the will of man, nor were they called because of father or mother. Therefore Aaron sought to establish that now the priesthood was to come by the blood of lineage. This is crazy. This is crazy. Y'all see this? Y'all see this? Wow. So the priesthood secured the bag. Why you think the prophets always had a problem with the priests? Why you think the Mashiach had problems with the priests? And YAH'KI beheld the abominations of Aaron before the face of the Creator. And Aaron desired wealth. Look at this. It was strictly about securing the bag for him and his lineage. And Aaron desired wealth and great glory to be passed on to his sons. But the language of repentance, repentance came to him by a mighty hand. And his two oldest sons who stood before the people as if to act within their appointed duty as priests, and who were in the minds of the people to inherit the high priesthood, worked the works of sorcery. His sons in on it too. Look at that. And they brought their strange fire and placed it upon the altar of Moses within the tabernacle, and it was a high priest altar after the manner of the holy order. And Moses had consecrated the altar unto the Creator and prayed that it could only be used to bless. The altar is to only be used to bless the mighty one of Israel. Ooh-wee. Huh? That altar ain't for slaying no animals. altars for blessing the mighty one of Israel. Oh, wait, boy, we got a problem, don't we? Nehemiah, bless up. Talk to me, big homie. What you get out of that? Let me stop sharing real quick.
Man, we in trouble.
Oh, wait.
So look, it don't sound like crackpot knowledge what Honor and Humility been saying. Is that this thing was made to profit Aaron. Why do you think Aaron, right, gets a percentage of everything that crossed the table? Kind of sound like today's government, don't it? They call it taxes today, though. So if you had a child born, you got to see the priest. You have an issue with your wife or your family or your children, you got to see the priest. You're dealing with crops, sacrifices, forgiveness, atonement, or anything relating to God, you got to see the priest. If you believe your wife was cheating, they give her that water or that gall. Who you have to get that from? Had to see the priest. If you need counseling about any other type of matter, who you have to go see? Had to see the priest. If you were sitting there dealing with any civil issues between you and your neighbor, who you had to go see? Had to see the priest. Then if you had any increase on your crops, your grain, your wine, anything, meat, which you don't even see Moses dealing in. And all the extra readings, whether it's the Book of Remembrance, whether it's the Nazarene, you do not see Moses sacrificing or eating meat, right? I don't see it. So you definitely don't see him sacrificing now. We just read it again in a whole nother book, right? It was just made to bless the Most High. All this to see that Aaron was there to secure the bag. We've been saying it. Now you got more daggers to even show it. Because, again, we said this before, too, for you to see that these type of things got to be asked, because if Aaron is the appointed high priest of God and officiating the office of God, and the priest are the mouthpiece, direct word of God, they should be working hand in hand, in peace, in harmony, for the betterment of who? The people. But what do you see? What did Hamashiach say? Ye are the people that did what? Kill the priests or kill the prophets? What they say, Mally?
Kill the
ye
prophets.
The people killed the prophets.
That's right.
Even to the fact where they killed who? Him.
Mm-hmm.
So the priests were at war with the true mouthpieces of God, because they are, over this time, centuries of being in charge, led by greed, led by filthy lucre. Mm-hmm. Jeremiah warned you about that filthy lucre too, didn't he, man?
Mm-hmm.
So you sit here now seeing the mask ripped off of Aaron. Yeah, she was saying, look at the very bottom, because it referred to, it had a lot of reference to the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Septuagint, and stuff like that.
That's right.
So when you understand that these were the people that was killing the prophets because they were the true enemies of God. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you that about the Levites. No, I don't. I'm not going to be hating none of that. You see what I'm saying? You have to look at it and call it for what it is. The priests and the prophets have been at war with each other since the time of coming out of Egypt. Because the priests, or appointed themselves priests by blood and lineage, were not truly called to officiate the office of God, which makes sense why they gave you all these pagan worships. Because why? Because they want to have wealth, status, money.
Mm.
And we gave it to them. And we followed them blindly and polluted. That's why it says y'all do error in y'all heart. And he was non-repentant.
Right, non-repentant, and then he started doing deception. He started saying that, you dig, whatever I'm saying, I got it from Moses, who got it from the Most High. It's crazy, man. You dig? But yeah, y'all check that out. Check that out whenever you can. All right, the Book of Remembrance, the first and second books of YAH'KI. Some people, certain information people are scared of, you know, I understand. So if it resonates with you, it does. If it don't, it just don't. Keep it pushing. You understand? But to me, it's mighty funny how everywhere we check, you understand? I mean, they saying the same stuff we already came to the conclusion on. And most of this stuff we ain't even read. You know what I mean? So all praise and glory now.
I haven't read it for sure. I don't have that book in my possession. Mally just got it.
I got it. I had it the whole year. That's my first time opening it up in a year. That's my first time opening it up in a year. I've been had it tucked up, you know, ducked up, tucked away. Like, you know what? That's a dagger one of these days. I'll bring that on out, you dig? So all praise glory now to the Most High. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to Hosea, the 2nd chapter. Nehemiah, bless up. It's something that gets by us a lot, and we never expound on. All right, so let's go into this. All right, we got to come against the false gods. That's all it's about, y'all. And how do you know if it's a false god, false inspiration? How do you know? Because the character that you are commanded to display is opposite of his character. That's how you know. Now, Most High said we ain't supposed to shed blood. So you already know anybody, any type of voice pop up in your head like, hey, go kill that child. Or go kill that person. You know what I mean? You know this off. You know it's off. All right. All right, drop that. Let's go to Hosea real quick. I want to go to Hosea, the 2nd chapter. You know, we usually start around verse 18 in this one, but we never go up a little further. All right. All right. Now watch this. This is about the restoration of Israel, right? Which is still something that's in our future. Israel has not been restored. Not all 12 tribes. Israel is 12 tribes. You know what I mean? There's times in the history where Judah has came back, the kingdom of Judah, you know what I mean, and was restored. But not all of Israel. All right? So if this is a prophecy of something that's in front of us that has not happened yet, you understand? Then we got to ask ourselves. We got to ask ourselves something. All right? Now watch this. Let me throw this on the side, Nehemiah, so everybody can see it. That's better like that. All right. Look at YHWH'S. That's Brian and JoJo. Bars.
What up, House of Brian? What it do, True Jew?
I recognize.
I still ain't got them baby pictures of my new little niece or nephew.
I recognize the name through the through the email. YHWH'S. You know what I mean? Blessings to the family. My aunt Brian, B, and JoJo, his wife, and their children. And his sister, his mother, all of them. Boy, Nee, I'm over here drinking these bitters. So we talking about unleavened bread and bitter herb, right? It's a whole 32-ounce mason jar of some bitters, boy. I just been drinking. I just, you know what I do. I make me up a 32-ounce. I just drink on the deal all day. Yeah, these deals taste like a bag of quarters, boy. But
I'm drinking on some regular tea.
Oh, so good for you. Oh, so good for you. You know what I mean? My aunt Kiani McGee, what up? Malaki Maccabee, what up? Blessings to you, my beloved brother. Bless up. All right, Nehemiah, let's read this. Let's get into this. Now, watch this. Keep in mind, this is something that's in front of us that has not happened yet.
You know something else to trip off of too, that the Messiah said? He said, none shall fall until all is fulfilled, right? That was written of in the law and the prophets. He didn't say the priests, though, did he? Trip off what I'm saying. He said, not one jot, not one tittle shall no wise pass from the law till all is fulfilled, right? He was dealing with the prophets and the law, right? But not the priests. You catch what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that Talmud, he wasn't referring to nothing in that deal. Priestly written book. You know what I'm talking about? It resonate later.
Hosea 2, Start around 14, nigga. What's wrong?
I'm laughing at you.
What?
Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her.
So, you know, this ain't the wilderness when we left Egypt, because Hosea lived after that. So this is talking about something future, a future wilderness, a future restoration of the nation. All right, if y'all understand that, give me a 4 up in the chat. Y'all know we ain't trying to lose nobody. But sometimes we got to slowly walk this thing so it'll resonate with you. Remember, if we saying, you dig, it's false worship in the scriptures, well, y'all, guess what? That means it's false gods who have been introduced into the scriptures by the false scribes. The pen of the false scribes. All right. So this is talking about restoration. This is talking about a total different wilderness experience. It can't be talking about before Hosea or Egypt, because Egypt was before Hosea was even alive. 700 years roughly. 800 years before Hosea was even thought of. What went down in the original wilderness had already happened. All right. Now watch this. Verse 15. Go ahead.
You know, another thing real quick, bro. What we just read out of the book of remembrance, the first and second book of YAH'KI, and we was reading about Aaron and his deception and his goal to secure wealth, right? And his blood and his lineage, right? It made sense why he went into the temple, into the yard, and overturned those money changes and freed them animals. You feel me? Because that was Aaron's mission. Wealth. And that's all that was going on was money changing, money changing, money changing. Sell me this so I can go do this at the altar. And the priest, every time you brought whatever you brought in there, he getting 10% off of that. Man, the taxation was real. The money, ooh-wee. And that made sense. So even if you ain't believing what we just read in the book of remembrance, let the scriptures point it out to you, and you should be able to see it. Anyway.
Absolutely. Excellent wisdom, brother.
Hosea 2 and 15.
Verse 15. What did it say?
And I will give her vineyards, not meat markets, from thence and the valley of Achor, for a door of hope, and she shall sing there, as in the days of her youth, and as in the days when she came up out of the land of Egypt.
We talking about leaving Egypt. We talking about unleavened bread, ain't we? We talking about Passover, ain't we? Yeah. Verse 16. Now watch this. We all can agree that this is prophecy that has not been fulfilled in our eyes yet. This is not Apple. This is about the restoration of Israel, correct? Now watch this. Guess what else has to happen before Israel is restored? Watch this. Verse 16.
And it shall be at that day, said the Most High, that thou shalt call me Ishi, and shalt call me no more Bali.
Who?
Bali. Or
Bali, huh? What's that word right there, Nehemiah?
I think we finna look it up, brother.
Y'all see B-A-A-L in there, don't you? Last I checked, Baal was a false god. Huh? Hold on. He's saying, when I restore you, you ain't gonna be calling me Baal no more.
So we still was doing it by the time of Hosea.
Bruh, listen to me. We're still doing it now. This is about a prophecy that has not yet happened yet. So that means Israel is still up under the vibration of the false gods. You see that?
To this day.
Gotta be, because this ain't happened. You ain't been redeemed yet.
So we are still under the vibration of Baal.
Baal, Molech, but all them was up under Baal. You know what I mean? It's a gang of them. You know what I mean? You got Ashtaroth. Ashtaroth was more over in Assyria and Persia. But that whole area right there, the land of Canaan and all, that was under the rulership of the false god Baal. Now we see Aaron making what? Golden calves. We see similar rituals that was done by the indigenous inhabitants of Canaan, correct? We read in Amos 5 where he said, you was worshiping Molech. You wasn't worshiping me in the wilderness. Right? We even went to the book of Remembrance and showed that Aaron got mad and started being deceptive. Aaron, the idol maker, who never repented, introduced this into the nation. So it should be no wonder when we can look and find the very same thing that Israel holds high and reverence today. Why do we find similar practices of that with the indigenous inhabitants of Canaan? Why? So you mean tell me even to this day Israel is calling on Baal? No, I call on Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. I call on Most High. You dig? But trip off your worship. It's your worship mingle.
Right. Who you yield your members to.
If the name means nothing, if you are worshiping the false gods and saying, I do this for the creator, you are worshiping Baal. You're worshiping Baal. You're worshiping Molech. You're worshiping any of those so-called pantheon false gods. That's who you worshiping. How do we know? Because you're guess what? Your action, your worship is that of the false god. The name in your mouth may be to the creator, but your actions show what? That you are a servant to the false god. See, what Israel has not done is differentiate between the creator and the false gods. That's why we got to. Why do you think there's so much confusion in Israel? Or so much anger, so much violence, so much domestic issues, so much child neglect and child abuse and drug dealing and pimping and wife swapping. And what do you think? Look, though all that is the behavior of the false gods. That's how you know. Just look at the behavior. A Negro can tell you all day, man, I worship the Most High. Just look at his behavior. Look at his worship. How does he worship? That's how you can tell. Now, who taught the true character of the Almighty? His son, the Messiah. Easy work. Right? If you want to make sure that you are giving reverence to the Creator, you need to be following the teachings of the Messiah. What he taught concerning his father. That's what you need to believe. Believe that. Don't depend on no decrepit Negroes breakdown today. Don't depend on Malachi Maccabee breakdown. Don't depend on Nehemiah breakdown. Don't depend on nobody's breakdown. Go get it right from the Messiah, who's the example. The Messiah is there to be an example to show how to reverence and live a life in total dedication to his father. That's why he was easily able to tell them, you of your father the devil. The Messiah was telling the leaders of the nation back then, y'all worship false gods. You dealing with the devil. You're not dealing with the creator. You see that? So before Israel is redeemed, guess what got to be destroyed out of the mouth of Israel? Baal. I don't worship Baal. I ain't never said Baal or Baal. I ain't never said Baal. But how are you worshiping? What's your worship? Huh? What's your worship? Now we get into the worship and we get to seeing all stuff that don't line up with the creator, then guess what? Guess what? If you're mixing the worship of the creator with the false gods, you're still serving the false god. Now look at verse 17, Nehemiah. Watch this. Go ahead.
Even with those Israelites that still go and deal with their family and co-workers and other people behind closed doors, their celebrations to their deities, whether they realize it or not. Oh, we're going to the office Christmas party and the Halloween costume masquerade ball. And yeah, you still doing it. Verse 17. Mm-hmm. For I would take away the names, plural, of Baalim out of her, which is Israel, mouth. And they shall no more be remembered by their names.
Do y'all hear this? That means to this very day, Israel has the false god of Baal in their mouth through worship. It's through worship. Now, what does names mean? If y'all think it's a game, let's go to names. You think it's just because you said the name Baal or Molech? Nah, that ain't it. All right, if y'all know how to read Hebrew, Shem, which means name, but look what it means. What goes into it? Okay, so here we go right here.
Ooh-wee.
KJV translate H8034 that many times. Name, renown, the renown of Baalim, the fame of Baalim. All right, it says name, famous, infamous, outline of biblical uses, name. Look at this. The reputation of Baal, or Baal. You know about his reputation? Fame, glory. The name is designation of God, a memorial, the memorial of Baal. So you mean tell me the chosen people have the memorial, have the monument, have the reputation, have the fame and glory of the false god Baal? We had it in our mouths. Now, how is that possible if don't none of us say Baal? It can only be through worship. It can only be through worship. So what this ain't honor and humility telling you that Israel is under the vibration of the false gods like we were in. The Bible is telling you that. What more do we need to read? We read Amos. Amos said, well, the Most High said through Amos, that wasn't to me you were sacrificing in the wilderness. You were sacrificing the Molech. Huh? We go over here to Hosea. You know, Molech is up under Baal. He one of his little gods. We come over to Hosea and we see that the names of Baal have to be destroyed out of our mouths. That's the whole redemption process of Israel being in the wilderness the second time around. Y'all see that? If y'all understand that so far, give me a Yahoo up in the chat. All right. Now, let's look at this. All right. We're going to look up Baali and we're going to look up Baalim so everybody can understand what's being said here. Now, look. All right. Baali equal my Lord. You hear some of the Jewish people, you know, they got names. Baal Sulam, master of the ladder. Baal, you're like, dang, they straight bold with it. You going to put that in your name. That's crazy. Now, know what it says. Baali equal my Lord, which is a title. Really, y'all, Lord is a title that's bestowed upon mortals. Right? You can go right over to Europe right now. This is Lord so-and-so of Wessex. You know what I mean? That's a man. That ain't the creator. But look at it. A deity in the northern kingdom. Variation of the name who? Baal. Wow. Now look down the Strong's definition though. Look how they try to mix up the Most High with Baal. Look at this. From H1167 with pronoun suffix my master, Baali, a symbolical name for Yahweh. Now, why would it be a symbolic name for Yahweh? Because that's who Israel was worshiping. You understand? Through the false pen of the scribes, through the wicked priests. You did? And you look up and you got something running on automatic today. All right? Make no mistake about it. Baal or Baal is a deity. He is a false god. So the Most High is talking about destroying the names of Baalim because it was him, it was his consort, it was the child they had together. It was crazy. It's an unholy. It's what they call a Canaanite trinity. There's trinities all over. You got them in Africa dealing with Horus and all them and Osiris and you know what I mean. The other, and that woman over there, Isis, and then you got them over in India. You got them in Canaan. You got them over in China. You feel me? These so-called triune gods. But what I'm here to tell you is that Baal is a deity, is a false god. And Israel is still up under that vibration to this very day. Because guess what? Before we are redeemed or drawn into the wilderness, before we can even get what's promised to us, the names. For I will, verse 17 again, for I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. Look at Baalim. All right. Look at that. Look where it comes from. That's just a plural form of Baal. Look at this.
Strong's H 1168. Baal. Baal. And the form just below that, Baal. Baal.
Now, look at this. All right. So when it says, I will destroy the names of Baal or Baalim, it's talking about Baal and all the little G's, the makeshift gods that come with it. All right. Now look at this. This ain't a game, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, people, you be taking this like it's a play. It's not no play thing. Look at this. Outline of biblical uses. Baal equal Lord. Proper masculine noun. Look at this. Supreme male divinity of the Phoenicians or Canaanites. We got, that's the name of a Reubenite. See, so it's showing you Israel taking on attributes of that false god. Because Baal was already a god of the Canaanites by the time Israel even got into the land. He was already their little deity. So that shows you if a Reubenite is named Baal, what does that mean? That means what? Just like you adopted the American lifestyle being here, Israelites start amalgamating and adopting Canaanite, Phoenician, heathen names. Part of our redemption is Baal or Baal being destroyed out of our mouths. All right. Also, the son of Jehiel and grandfather of Saul, a town of Simeon, probably identical to Baal of Beer. There's many more. All right. But make no mistake about it. We're not talking about Baal the Reubenite or the grandfather of Saul. We talking about the divinity, the male divinity or God of the Canaanites and the Phoenicians. That's what we talking about. See that, Nehemiah?
You know, I said when you was on Bali, when you seen it, it'll point to the suffix. The suffix said my master.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's pointed to a heavenly thing. I mean, to an earthly master, not Yod Hey Why.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you go back to Bali, you can see it. It was written like that.
That's Baal. That's the false god.
Exactly.
And the Most High is talking about what? Destroying the names of Baal out of our mouths.
Exactly.
Y'all, trip about this, y'all. This ain't something that already happened. That's what I'm trying to get our brothers and sisters to see. The destruction or the taking away of Baal out of our mouths, y'all, that ain't happened yet. If it has, show me in history. Because clearly, this is talking about the restoration of Israel. And how the Most High gonna bring us into the wilderness again. And give us vineyards and not meat markets, not butcher shops, right? And he's comparing that to as when we came out of Egypt, right? And he say, verse 16, and it shall be at that day, saith the Creator, that thou shalt call me Ishi. Another suffix. Whenever the yod is at the end of a Hebrew word, at the end of it, it means mine. Ish means husband. So Ishi, thou shalt call me my husband, Ishi, and shall call me no more Ali, right? My Lord. But the name of Baal is in there. That's the chief male divinity or deity of the Canaanites and Phoenicians. And how you know that's just not the Most High saying, well, I'm changing my title, you call me. I'm just going to be your husband and not your master. But no, the husband is the master, correct? The man is the head. You see that? This is talking about the worship of Baal. It's not talking about the Most High just saying, call me husband from now on, don't call me master. That ain't talking about that, y'all. It's talking about the worship of Baal and all the so-called deities attached to him. All right, if that makes sense, give me a 4 up in the chat. Nehemiah, go ahead. Sound like you want to say something.
No, I was just saying, when you look back there and dealing with my master, like you said, the most important part about us reading this is showing a future restoration, which means from the time of Hosea to the time of this actual happening, we're still under a false vibration.
There you go. That's all I was trying to get our brothers and sisters to see. You got it. There it is.
You know what I'm saying? From the time of Hosea to the time of that said restoration, Israel is still under the vibration of another God.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And whether you call his name does not matter, because when you add the word Shem, we look up name, Shem also means like when you come in authority of. Christ came in the name of his Father, in the authority of his Father, or in the action and movement of his Father.
Glory, the reputation.
The reputation of his Father.
Yeah.
So if you're out here doing the Dagon Passover on the 14th day of the first day of the year, of the first year, with the lamb on the altar, which the Most High never required, you are in vibration, glory, and reputation of another deity, which Aaron set up for you. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. You needed to know. You are under the vibration of a non-repentant priesthood that sought wealth, and where prophets came and were killed by these priests. Even Hamashiach. So who's not working for the Most High for real?
All right.
Who's not working for the Most High for real? And you entrust your form of worship to the mindset of these men. Especially when we see in the writings we have, without even going too far, that Moses clearly gave you something that the Most High did not give y'all. Because he tried to soothe the savage beast, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you understand this, family, you can begin to start peeling back the layers and seeing the true image, the true power, the true definition of your Elohim, which is truly a set-apart deity from other deities. If everybody else's deities need blood, why you think your God need blood? He said, if I was thirsty, would I even tell you? When I was hungry, would I even tell you? Who is you? How you got to give God something that's a sweet smelling savor, and then he telling you the next minute, it's smoke in my nose, I don't want it. Mm-hmm. Then you be like, well, God changes not. Well, he's been changing because you've been dealing with two different gods the whole time. Mm-hmm. My God changes not. Well, the dietary laws change. God changes not. Well, the feast days are changing. God changes not. Well, the smelling of sweet smelling artists can change. God changes not. Going back to not eating no more meat. Hell, you just read about vineyards and not meat markets. God changes not. Zadok is in the kingdom performing sacrifices when death and the grave are cast away. Y'all got to see this. I pray y'all see it. I'm not making mockery of the Bible. I'm making mockery of the priesthood that gave us error that even our king recognized and told us that we never knew his ways. It ain't Nehemiah saying that. That's King David saying that. And when you understand that, you can see the difference between the Most High and the Mashiach and the priest. That's it.
Absolutely, absolutely. All praises, you dig? Now, look what's also attached to our restoration. All right, we get drawn into the wilderness. The Most High speak comfortably to us there. He give us vineyards, and then he destroy the names of Baal out of our mouths, and there will be no more remembered. And we all agree that this is a future prophecy, right? All right, now, once the name of Baal or the reputation or the fame or the character or the glory of Baal is destroyed out of our mouths as a nation, trip off the Most High making a covenant with us. Verse 18, Nick.
Oh my God, we back to the Genesis again, ain't we?
Hosea 2 and 18. Watch this. What it say, Nick?
And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beast of the field.
Them with Israel. I will make a covenant for them, Israel, with the beast of the field. So you mean to tell me the new or the renewed covenant has to do with the preservation of all life, including the animals?
Sound like the beginning, don't it?
Yeah, that's the covenant. How you up under the new covenant, but you still slaying animals? Well, I ain't slaying, but you eating them. You understand? You partaking in that death. Now, look at this. And in that day will I make a covenant for them, Israel, with the beasts of the field. Go ahead, Nick.
And with the creeping things
And
of
with
the
the
ground.
fowls of heaven.
Oh, my fault. Oh, Salakia. Let me read that again. And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beast of the field and with the fowls of heaven and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth. And I will make them to lie down safely.
I will make them, man and beast, lie down safely. Y'all see this? This right here is basically the same thing that was told to Noah.
There you go, bro. Now, Noah wasn't an Israelite.
Right.
So that covenant of old is the same as the covenant of to come.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And if God changes not, and the covenant of life is with man and animal from the beginning in the ark, and now here it is in the wilderness, the covenant of man, Israel, and the beast again. Both are safe. Both have life. Both don't have to fear death. Both ain't got to fear the sword, the bow, the battle. And they all can lie down safely, means nobody's in danger. How in the middle is bloodshed and flesh chewing?
Right. So all weapons down. You see, now look, this line's right up with Micah. This line's right up with Isaiah. Beat your swords and your weapons of war and the gardening tools. You see that? He said in here, I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth. The bow and arrow, the swords, and all warfare will be broken out of the earth. To where man and animal, man and beast, we will be able to enjoy the Most High's creation in safety.
Man, look at the comment. Beautiful comment.
Along with what the Most High requires of us on our hearts and in our minds.
Absolutely.
Which is, and one of those is what? Is what? The preservation of all life. All life. All right? So I wanted to show that right there, Nehemiah. You dig? The Most High gonna make a covenant with us and the animals, right? But before then, the names of Baal, the false god, got to be destroyed out of our mouth. His name, meaning his reputation, his character, his glory, his fame. Yeah, you feel me? Well, what if the worship of Baal has been introduced into what we call our Bible through the false pen of a scribe, hiding behind the name of Yahweh or Yahweh? Shouldn't be that should not be that hard to fathom. Because we seen it happen. All right. But that's it for that one right there, Nehemiah. Let me close that real quick.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in my notes real quick, bro.
Yeah, but I just wanted to show that. All right. I want to show that. That's the restoration of Israel. They dig, but the false gods got to get what? Destroyed. False gods got to get destroyed out of our mouths. All right. It's really that simple. Right? And for us to believe, that has already happened. Right? All you gotta do is ask somebody, right? When were the names of Baal taken away out of our mouth and destroyed? Show me in history when that happened. They did. And then if they can't do it, just take them over to that Hosea 2, start at verse 14. And just show them to slow roll it. Has this happened yet? Has Israel been restored? No. Okay. Bang. Well, part of Israel being restored is the names of Baal, the false god, being destroyed out of our mouths. See? So the whole time we've been putting it out there, you understand that there are different forms of worship in the scriptures. It's either going to the creator or it's going to the false gods. Baal, Molech, and all these little so-called G's attached to them. All right. Israel was under that vibration then, and Israel's up under that vibration now. It's a few Israelites that hold on to the worship of the creator. All right. And for you to understand the character of the creator, speaking as your brother, I would start with the teachings of Messiah. You understand that? Start with that Sermon on the Mount. Matthew chapter 5 through chapter 7. Start there. Start there first. And if you start there, you're going to start seeing the Messiah. He reading right. Look, he talking about what's in the Torah, and he's giving a total different breakdown and understanding of it. Yeah, it say that, but I say this. What about John the 8th chapter when he was getting at the so-called Pharisees and all them and the scribes and all that? Right? He came right outside and said, look, you of your father the devil. You of your father the devil. Meaning he let them know what? You're under the vibration of a false deity, a false god. You're under a so-called angelic force or power that does not work for the creator. You see that? Lord means Baal. Absolutely. Absolutely. So in order for you to understand if you are worshiping the creator or a false god, you gotta look at the character. You got to look at the character of the Most High and then ask yourself, is this commandment right here lining up with his character? If he said, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not shed innocent blood, and then turn around and tell you, hey, go over there and kill all them babies and animals. Hold on. The children for sure ain't did nothing to you. The animals ain't either. Like, what sin did they commit for them to be destroyed? See, that's not of the Most High. Again, a voice that you identify as God tell you, hey, I know I promised you a child, but go kill your child. Huh? Now, most of us in our right mind say, hell to the no, I'm not killing my children ever. How about that? I'm not killing my children ever. Why? Because what? The Creator say, thou shalt not kill. And my children are blessings. As a matter of fact, my children are his children. What I look like killing them? Huh? Now, if your answer is hell no, I'm not killing my child or any child, then you got to question certain dictates in the scriptures that say, go over there and smash that waterhead's baby against the walls. Huh? Kill women, kill children, kill cattle. Now the creator's the creator. Like if it's time for your spirit to be recalled, all he got to do is give a decree where he at and your spirit coming on in. You see that? The creator is not with the warfare and the bloodshed and you feel me, and the violence and nah, he ain't even got to get down like that. You know how magnificent and majestic the Almighty is? How powerful he is? And what he needs you to go kill some children for? What he needs you to sacrifice your child for? What he needs you to slit the neck of 248,000 lambs just to deliver you out of bondage? See, that's that talk Israel scared to come on outside and talk about. But I'm just saying what all y'all been thinking. Something ain't adding up. What you mean? Something ain't adding up. You see? So I love y'all enough to tell you, follow the mighty one. Follow the creator. Because he's about life. He's about life. Not death. Life. You see that? And for us to feast or come into fellowship or communion to communicate with our Creator, guess what? We don't need to kill something for us to come into fellowship or communion with the Great Spirit, the Creator. What you need to kill something for? And so in order to feast with him and to fellowship with him and to receive wisdom, understanding, and guidance, we got to kill something? Oh, no, that don't even sound right. That don't even sound right. And I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. I'm going to keep it, no, that don't sound right. Oh, brother, you sinning, blaspheming. Look, until Israel is ready to have the discussion, let's have the discussion about how the Tanakh was compiled. Let's have the discussion on how what's called the New Testament was compiled. See, if we start there, if we start with how it was compiled and when, everything will come open for you. You'll see it then like, you know what? Dang, that don't make sense. That's crazy. That's crazy. You see? So I'll praise the glory now to the Most High. If y'all get some understanding so far, give me a Yahoo up in the chat. Bless up. Anna Nails in the building. I see you. All right. Look at my eye. Yazo Fit. That's the scientific bro right there, y'all. Bless up. That's my beloved brother. Bless up. My brother, Nakamya Mabarak, my beloved brother. Bless up. Bless up. All praise the glory and honor. Abinadab, my Jamaican brethren. Large up yourself. Large up yourself. All praise, glory, and honor. Sean Thomas, my beloved brother. My beloved brother Obed in the building. Bless up, bless up, bless up. What's the word? What you doing, girl? I'm live right now. I'm working, baby. You know what I mean?
Hey, Joseph, man, how that baby coming along, boy? That boy about to be a pawpaw. Joseph Evans. That boy about to be a pawpaw. Hey, baby. No, let me hear my baby. Is that Uncle Nehemiah?
You heard her?
I heard her. Yeah, this Uncle Nehemiah, baby. Hi, baby.
She done ran out the room.
Oh, she done ran into something.
Yeah, all good. All praises. All praises, man. So yeah, it's all about destroying it. You got to destroy the philosophy of the false gods, man. That's all it comes down to. You
and then you know another thing too. That's blood magic. That's witch stuff. That you got to kill something to. How you got to kill something to obtain the life of the Creator or access the Creator? He gave you life, not death.
Right.
Adam, there's nothing about Adam killing anything to talk with the voice of God that walked through the garden. There's nothing there. But all of a sudden,
you see this big old strawberry boy?
Yeah, I'm on my way.
These deals is electric. You hear me? These deals is fire.
I'm eating sunflower seeds.
I'm gonna keep it good. Hey man, I don't know, man. Them fruits, especially them fruits, are electric. You get to eating on them deals, boy. You get to, dang, what's going on around here? Body feel all good and everything. God, FU militia. So glad I'm able to be amongst this ministry. Bless up. Hey, we happy and it's a blessing to serve, brother. It's a blessing to serve, all right? So we see all that so far. In our other ones, other Passover videos we did, the last two videos, we also show, I think we should show some of that just for, you know, I mean, conscious sake. Nehemiah, what you think? I'm going to show the Septuagint and the Peshitta too. And then I want to end it with some of the Messiah sayings in Matthew. We're going to get on up out of here. I got to make sure the fam all good. You did. So let me show this real quick too. Let me pull the Septuagint up. That right there. I want to show y'all, because the question is, well, how y'all observe Passover? You ain't chewing on no animals. All right. It's crazy, man, how people get though. All right, that's that one right there. All right, what else I got out of there? That's the Peshitta. We can go into the Peshitta too. All right. All right. So let me share this real quick for anybody that's new that think we making stuff up. We're going to go to the oldest, if not one of the oldest, Tanakhs or Old Testament in the earth. It's called the Septuagint. All right. Commissioned under Ptolemy Philadelphus, around 200 something before the Common Era. 200 BC, maybe 300 up in there somewhere. The Ptolemies. Everybody know about the Greek Ptolemies that ran Egypt. That was Alexander and them homeboys. Alexander the Greek. All right. Now, when they came into power, they used to have a library in Alexandria, Egypt. It was the greatest library in the world at the time. All right. Now, what they used to do is have everybody that they had the authority when they conquered. They had their learned men. They had their learned men translate their histories into the Greek tongue, so the Greeks could study the individuals or the nations that they are ruling over. How they gonna study if they don't speak the language? You see, so they commissioned the most learned men amongst the Israelites, the most learned men amongst Kemet too. That's where you get the Rosetta Stone from. All right, the most learned men of all their kingdoms where they were living in, and they made them translate their records and deposit their records into the great library in Alexandria, Egypt. The Septuagint was one of them. All right, translated by 70 Israelite elders after we came out of Babylon under the Greek occupation. That's when this work came forth. All right, by Israelites. All right, so let me go ahead and make sure I'm sharing the screen real quick. Hallelujah, hallelujah, all praise you. I like what bruh say. Bruh say every nation did blood sacrifices. So how are we different from them if we do blood sacrifices? We're supposed to teach the Gentiles to other nations. We are supposed to be a light, not mimic and follow. Absolutely, bro. I agree all the way. That's right, Ananias. I believe that. All right. Boss, baby. I'm alive, baby. Watch out. Get out the camera. Look at her trying to hide. Watch out.
Hey, Uncle Baby.
Look at her.
Hi, baby.
Now look at her talking some hi. Say shalom. Hi. Say Yahoo.
Shalom.
All right, get it. Can you get up? Let me do my thing. Let me work. You better get your brothers out and everything.
Oh, you already know Hizzy right behind him.
You hear me? So, B and JoJo, hallelujah, truly a healing ministry that shows the attributes of our Father, the Most High. All praises, all praises, all praises. So let me bring this out too, because this right here, I'm bringing the Septuagint up to show that the Septuagint is actually an older version of the Old Testament. It's older than the Old Testament you have in the King James Bible. The King James, the Old Testament in the King James Bible is a Masoretic Old Testament. Masorah, Masoretic text, you may have heard that before. But y'all, that was put down in like the 1000s, the 1100s. Like, the Masoretic text ain't even 1,000 years old. The Septuagint is like 2,300 years old, 2,300 years. See, so what I'm about to pull up is an older version of what you'll see in the KJV. All right, now trip off how differently it reads. All right, so the question is, how do y'all keep Passover, unleavened bread, and there ain't no lamb? All right, well, our response would be we do it just like Joshua and the Israelites did it outside Jericho before they invaded Jericho. Joshua 5, verse 10 through 11. They flip to it in the KJV. They don't say nothing about slaughtering no lamb at all. You dig? But the way it's worded, they can still kind of wiggle out, right? Look at it in the Septuagint, which is much older than the Bible that you have now. All right, Septuagint. Let me share. We bring the scholarship on out. It's all good. All right. We'll bring it on out. All right. All right, Nehemiah. Hold on one second. What I do with all that? Hang on, my deal is it. Is it back here? There you go. All right. Something else in the arsenal. This right here, y'all, the Septuagint. That's my actual book. All right. That's the cover of it. Show y'all the binder. That's the binders, just so y'all See, we ain't playing around here. Septuagint with the Apocrypha. Them all my other little books to the left too over there. All right, the Septuagint with Apocrypha. All right, Brenton. So if y'all wanted to get on Amazon and look for it, go ahead. All right, with the Septuagint, the left side is in Greek, the right side is in English. Okay. Now watch this. All right, just so everybody don't think we playing. All right. Hold on, y'all. That ain't the one I'm looking for yet. Hold on. All right, just so y'all can see we not playing. This is Joshua 5. You can flip to it in your KJV. All right. My bad, y'all. All right, so this is Joshua 5. The left side is Greek, right side is English. But notice what it says. Joshua 5, the V is 5. Verse 2 through Joshua 6, verse 6. All right. Now watch this. I want to go ahead and make it a little closer for y'all. All right, let's eat. Here it is. Same chapter. I just zoomed in on what we're looking at, right? I says this is Joshua 5, 10 through 12 out of the Septuagint. Joy Lamb 747. All praises. Bless up. Look at this right. Joshua 5, 10 through 12 in the Septuagint. All right. Much older than your Masoretic text, right? And the children of Israel kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month at evening to the westward of Jericho on the opposite side of the Jordan in the plain. And they ate of the grain of the earth, unleavened and new corn. For the Passover, they ate unleavened bread and new corn. We don't read nothing about no lambs being chewed on. Y'all hear that? I'm going to read it again. Verse 10. The children of Israel kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month at evening to the westward of Jericho on the opposite side of the Jordan in the plain. And they ate of the grain of the earth, unleavened and new corn. On this day, the Passover, the manna fell after they had eaten of the corn of the land. And the children of Israel no longer had manna. And they took the fruits of the land of the Phoenicians, aka the Canaanites, in that year. Y'all, we don't only just had them eating unleavened bread and corn for Passover, no flesh. It tell you for that whole year they was eating fruits. So if somebody asks us, well, how do y'all keep Passover? How do y'all keep Passover without lamb blood and chewing on lamb purtenance and lamb legs and shoulders? We just replied the same way Joshua and the children of Israel did in Joshua 5, verse 10 through 11. If they read in the KJV, it's worded a little different, so they may be able to wiggle out. But when you go to the oldest, if not one of the oldest Old Testaments in this earth, called the Septuagint, right? You're going to see how they kept the Passover. And it was fleshless and bloodless. All right? All right? If y'all understand that, give me a 7 up in the chat. Y'all know I ain't trying to lose nobody. And again, that's out the Septuagint. Go get it. Go get it. We ain't around here playing games at all about any of this. All right? We done went and did the studies, and I thank the Most High for it. I thank the Most High for the patience behind it. Because it's real easy to get mad at folks and all that. We ain't even got to do all that. Understand? We just here to share it. We just present the information. That's all we doing. Present the info. You dig? Nehemiah, talk to us. Give Nehemiah in the building still.
Yes, I had to get the mouse back over the mute button.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, look. Also, how long was that Maccabean revolt?
3.5 years.
So that means they had to go through 3 Passovers while the revolt was going on, right?
Oh, bring it out, Nate.
Uh-oh. So when the temple became defiled, they ran into the wilderness and they didn't have the altar or whatever to do. Now, mind, these were priests. they couldn't perform the ritual that we've been trying to tell y'all. If you can't even perform the ritual, you still can't eat the meat.
Right.
One way or the other. Even if you want to eat the meat, you can't eat the meat. See, everybody say, well, we try to keep the Passover to the best of our ability. That's not the way the Most High run. It's my way or the highway. So if you can't take that right there to the priest and have it done and officiated over like the priest will have to do, right? There's no way you can eat any meat. So during the Maccabean revolt as a second witness to Joshua 5, right? And that had the Apocrypha, so it would be in that book that Matty had, the Septuagint, right? And it's in your KJVA, which is King James Version with the Apocrypha. You will see that that whole war was fought from a what you would call plant-based diet. When they no longer had the altar to officiate over, they did not eat no more meat. They just ate the herbs of the field. That whole war was fought by priests and other men, of course, that knew that they could not access the altar, they could not eat the meat. So Israel ain't got no excuse. 3 Passovers, no meat. And the men won a war. You know what I'm saying? That, and also, you don't see Messiah. And then here go another thing too, right? What I was just going to say. Oh, man, I just lost my train of thought that quick. Oh, yeah. So, again, none of these Israelites are going to get the lamb by the 10th day, inspecting it, keeping it, make sure it has no spot, no spots or blemishes, right? Because you have to do it according to the way the Most High had said do it. If you're going to try to run it the Levitical way. If you can't go get you a whole lamb and eat the pertinence thereof, that means everything, lamb, chitterlings, and all that, then your Passover is off anyway. Let alone the times and the seasons you're trying to keep it with a forever changing, always corrected moon according to a calendar that started off in 1752 in September with an 11-day gap in it. Do you see how far? Right. You don't even know if you eating well, I got a shoulder lamb. You don't know if that shoulder is a female, a male, a boy, a girl. You living in today's world. You don't know if it's a clone lamb or you don't know what you're dealing with. And you're only getting the shoulder or the shank. Where the pertinence? Where the whole head at? I'm just saying, man. You can sit there and try to figure out how to do all that stuff to keep it in line with the priest version of Passover, or you can keep it in line with the Messiah's version of it, and all the other people who understood that if a temple is not in play, no meat is in play. And since y'all don't have a temple in play, no Israelite got a right to eat no meat. I'm sorry. And then definitely none in the deep freeze or in the ice box more than 2 days. Because the third day got to be, poof, burned up. So you in trouble, man. You got to cut the blood, spill it in the earth, take it to the temple, the tabernacle. You got to have the priest offer up, sacrifice and get his percentage off of it, then give you the rest. Then you got 2 day cycle to eat it. And then you have to burn the rest. There's an abomination. And, man, bro, you won't have no Levite, no temple, no way to run the ritual. At the best, you could just have to do it just like the Levites did in Maccabean Revolt and how Joshua did it in Joshua 5 and just call it a life. And it's okay. It wasn't counted sin on neither one. If it was, show me the chapter and verse where it was counted sin, and please show me the judgment thereof. Because y'all following behind a priest that made a golden calf and had y'all celebrating the golden calf on the Shabbat. And then had the nerve to write in there with the scribes that they killed the man for picking up sticks on the Shabbat. Is that an attribute of your God? Wait a minute. Aaron can worship an idol on the Shabbat and live. But a man picking up sticks on the Shabbat, him must die. If you don't start looking at these scriptures for real, you will never, ever, ever see the deeper mysteries thereof. And listen, I'm not reaching into none of y'all books, giving y'all nothing extra. We just bringing out what's already there. That's it. We just bringing out what's already there. It's been there the whole time. And how you going to go from a covenant with God, animals at the ark, renewed covenant, future, Hosea, God, animal, covenant, renewed, and then in the middle is just have your way with murder, death, and choo-choo. And all y'all getting y'all, I bang on that, man, the KJV at best, y'all, even more, when you reading out of a book translated from the Masoretic text, you don't have it all. You can't have full understanding from something that's been chopped up. Again, we ain't saying the Bible is in error. I mean, we ain't saying that the Bible or the Most High or Christ is false on no level. We just saying there's ways to get to the deepest understandings that we should have had from the beginning. And it tells you scarcely the righteous shall be saved. The fool is very elect. Half of everybody trying to get y'all back to the Levitical way of living under the so-called banner of a Mashiach. Y'all don't see a problem with that? They're trying to get you to live under the banner of the Levites while claiming you follow Hamashiach. When clearly the Levites and them had aught with the Messiah and killed him, as they did with the other prophets. I choose to believe Messiah. You give your father the devil. Why? Because we here realize that they really were in worship of another deity. And if you don't see that, you can't come from under Levi. That's why you're stuck. You're stuck in Levi, but claiming you under Messiah. Some camps, if you ain't got fringes on, you ain't my brother. I said, well, Abraham ain't your father. Now what?
That's a good one. That's a good one right there. Abraham ain't your father then. Well,
I'm just saying. Man, you ain't circumcised, so we ride chicken around here, boy. What you call it? The love muscle?
Love muscle.
Oh, God, that day, boy.
Over checking on this man. Love muscle. Bezel the Israelite, my beloved brother. Bless up. Blessings to you, your entire family, your mother, everybody. Tell him I said shalom. I'll praise. All right, Hebrew. Let's you brought up the second Maccabee. Let's show that real quick. I mean, if you bring it up, you know we got to show it. And then I want to just read a few of the Mashiach, few verses of his in Matthew 5. We can get up out of here. All right.
All right, I'm finna go give me some more tea real quick.
Is that what you call it? Tea?
It is tea.
I was messing with you, Nick. I'm messing with you.
Now, you catch me back in the day with drink, brother.
Now, this second Maccabees chapter 5, y'all. All right, let me show you the temple under attack. The altar is defiled. What's on the menu? Well, it definitely ain't no flesh. Because remember, for any Israelite claiming they keeping dietary laws, well, any so-called, if you are under, I don't follow the laws of flesh, but if you're gonna claim you following the laws of flesh, then y'all understand this: that flesh had to be processed a certain way, or was considered unclean according to the Torah, the very Torah that we all read. And it couldn't be dead no longer than 2 days. If it made it day 3, it was considered unclean and an abomination. And if it wasn't processed properly, meaning brought to the priest and the priest did his ritual over it, y'all is considered offered to devils or idols. And the man that eateth it, even if you say, well, I ain't kill it, but you eat it. And the man that eateth it shall be cut off for birds of iniquity. See what I'm saying? So that's in Leviticus, right? We get all the way over to the Maccabees, a clan of priests who knew all the rituals and everything. But the temple was under attack and the altar was profane. How did they eat? in the wilderness where they was at with their animals with them. Did they take out a blade and cut the throat of an animal and eat it anyway, even though the temple and everything was profaned in Jerusalem? Or did they not eat the flesh because what the Torah specifies has to be, you know what I mean, that got to be done. If it ain't done that way, then it's considered offered to devils, unclean, and abomination, and we stand in jeopardy of being cut off. So for anybody listening that partakes in the laws of flesh, chewing on flesh and claiming that you can chew on clean animals, I would say that you are even in violation of the very law you claim you uphold. Because one thing Israel never talks about is the laws of preparing and process, the laws of slaughtering the animal so it can end up on your plate seasoned and, you know what I mean, sizzling. See, it's a whole process according to the law that it got to go through. If it don't go through that, it is unclean to you. I'm here to tell you there ain't damn person in this earth slaughtering animals, killing animals, preparing and processing dead flesh, how it says in Leviticus. So if you're going to say you down with the laws of clean meat and the flesh, you got to be all the way in with that. You got to be all the way in with that. You got to go ahead and make sure it's being prepared and slaughtered and prepped and everything properly. Just like we tell brothers with the Passover, you claim you're keeping the Passover, right? Chewing on the lamb and all that, right? Well, that lamb selection the process to select the lamb had to be done this way. And if it's not that way, then what you're doing is backed by no biblical authority. None. It's man-made. You know how we get on the pagans about doing things man-made? You know how we get on the Sunday church goers? No, that's a man-made tradition. Well, what you doing is not backed by no biblical authority either. So the ritual you doing is man-made. It ain't backed by no biblical authority. Everybody doing Passover how they want to. They don't put lamb blood over the doorpost. These Negroes tape up red confetti paper over the doorpost and act as if that's blood. Other people would spray red spray paint. You feel me? No, preparing, processing, and slaughtering, those are laws in the Torah. If it's done that way, according to your law, then you could chew on it. If it's not done that way, it is not to be touched. You feel me? And that's for y'all that follow the laws of the flesh. I don't chew on damn animal around here. All right. All right, now watch this. 2 Maccabees 5:21. So when Antiochus, a Greek, had carried out of the temple 1,800 talents, look at that. He's robbing the temple. The temple was a bank too. It wasn't just a slaughterhouse, it was a bank. Depository. Fort Knox. Look at this. Had carried out of the temple 1,800 talents. He departed in all haste unto Antiochia, waning in his pride to make the land navigable and the sea passable by foot. Such was the haughtiness of his mind. Look at him. See, so it's saying his pride starts shrinking. Talking about he gonna make the land navigable and the sea passable by foot. Okay. But he's attacking the temple. And he left governors to vex the nation at Jerusalem. Philip for his country, a Phrygian, and for manners more barbarous than he that set him there. See that? So who he left in charge was worse than Antiochus himself. All right. And that Gerizim, Andronicus, and besides Menelaus, who worse than all the rest bear a heavy hand over the citizens, having a malicious mind against his countrymen, Yahudim. So this Menelaus was a sellout Israelite, rolling with the Greeks. Rolling with the Greeks. I'm going to hit you with something. The Greeks' chief deity is Zeus, right? But guess who Zeus is, though? Guess who Zeus is? I'll show y'all on another day. But guess who Zeus is? Baal. Baal. Blew my mind. I say, wow, that's crazy. Baal is Zeus. Good night. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. You feel me? But anyway, watch this. He sent also that detestable ringleader Apollonius with an army of 220,000, commanding him to slay all those that were in their best age and to sell the women and the younger sort, who coming to Jerusalem and pretending peace did forbear till who did, read it again, who come to Jerusalem pretending peace did forbear to the holy day of the Sabbath. When taking the Jews, the Yahudim, keeping holy day, he commanded his men to arm themselves. And so he slew all them that were going to the celebrating of the Shabbat, and running through the city with weapons, slew great multitudes. But Judah Maccabee, with 9 others of thereabout, withdrew himself into the wilderness, and lived in the mountains after the manner of beasts, with his company, who fed on herbs continually, lest they should be partakers of the pollution. Look at this. Y'all, that means that the great exploits that we read about Judah Maccabee and his brothers Simon and Jonathan, and you understand, that 3.5-year war that they fought against the Greeks to rededicate the temple and the altar, that entire war, you know, its dedication to Hanukkah was fought on herbs. Notice they said they had to eat the herbs continually because they didn't want to be partakers of the pollution. Well, them brothers weren't eating swine. They weren't eating crab, shrimp, and lobster. So how would they been polluted by simply killing one of the lambs they had with them, especially for Passover? Killing one of the lambs they had with them. You understand? Performing the ritual and eating the lamb. Why they ain't do that? And these are a family of priests. You know why? You know what they knew that we just figuring out? You can't lawfully slaughter that animal according to the very laws, according to the very flesh laws that everybody going by. You can't properly or lawfully slaughter it if the tabernacle or the temple is not in place. There's no priest officiating at the altar. You understand? That blood has not been sprinkled on the altar. That animal has not been gutted, dissected, every organ pulled out of it, the fat pulled off the organ, and the fat thrown on the altar and burned to who you call the Most High. You know what I mean? As a sweet smelling savor. All that meat, especially if you got deep freezer meat, all that meat has been dead longer than 2 days. So with the sons of Mattathias, what they understood, Judah Maccabee and them, what they understood was, if these things are not in place, then we can't lawfully chew on no kind of animals. See, they knew that. They fought that war on herbs continually because they didn't want to be polluted. How would they been polluted? By eating on some animals when everything that the Most High or everything that the Torah specifies has to be done to an animal before you can lawfully chew on it. It's impossible for them to even do it. So guess what? They fed on herbs. Y'all, that's a 3.5-year war fought on veggies, herbs, continually. Y'all see this? See, and like Nehemiah just said, which was so powerful, you know what I mean? Which was so powerful is this. It's because 3.5 years mean 3 Passovers went by. So that means for 3 years, the sons of Mattathias, including Judah Maccabee and them, did not chew on any flesh, whether it was for the Passover, whether it was for the Feast of Weeks, or whether it's for a tabernacle. They ain't even chew on it. You know what I mean? Check that out. So y'all mark that down. 2 Maccabees 5, verse 27. Bless up, bless up. Let me stop that real quick. Nehemiah, big homie, talk to me.
Excellent reading, brother. Yeah, it just hit me in my spirit. I said, man, guess what? They didn't eat no flesh either. There go your second witness. And again, it's all the prophets are telling you the same thing that got them killed. Same thing that got Messiah killed. Because the thing that grieved them the most, out of all things that Messiah had already did, is when they came up in that temple, in that courtyard, and overturned them tables and freed them animals. That was kind of the last straw. You mess with their money. You want to get somebody on your head? Mess with their money. Then you're going to have a problem.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I like what Anna say. Anna say, crazy how many times food has played a part in the efforts to bring down it. Exactly. I was tripping off that. All right. right? But whenever the dedication come up, we say Hanukkah and the Maccabees, and we was handling our business and all that, y'all. That was a war fought on herbs. That was a war fought on herbs. A lot of y'all coming at us about all this with the very feast day you celebrating. You feel me? For them to get the temple back and to rededicate it, well, for 3.5 years, y'all, they was not chewing on no type of flesh. Hey, man.
Oh, man. Hey, boy, Hezzy be in his own world, boy.
Man, little joker, swear he run the world. Swear he run the world. I say, son, one day you rule worlds. But today...
Hey, boy, that was his battle cry.
But today, you going to bed, little joker. One day you'll rule worlds as a son of the creator. But today, you go to bed, little joker. You was tripping. All right? So, you know what I mean? So, now we understand, like, when we slow down and reread this, you understand? Now we understand, you dig, like, how deep the rabbit hole goes. How deep it's going, should I say. I mean, we ain't even talking about future revelation, but you feel me? But how many of us actually understood and knew, hey, man, that was a war fought on plants, man. That's a war fought on plants. You feel me? And they were very, very victorious. That's what it do, my brother. Let me see right here.
You know what? Another thing that's powerful about what Sis is saying is that in order to destroy a people and to keep their God or their Elohim from them, especially when their Elohim supposed to dwell within their temple and inside of their physical being, is to defile their temple. That's what that feast was about. That's what that was about. One, their cities had been overran, but understand that they had poured pig's blood on the altar. And so they could not even go back and perform a righteous act on that altar because it was defiled. We know that because they went back and uprooted every stone and waited till a prophet would come and tell them what to do with it. Not a priest, a prophet. See what I'm saying? So in order to destroy a people and destroy a power's relationship with its people, you have to destroy the very temple that their power resides in. And for us, that would be our food. You see what I'm saying? It's those same foods that cause us all of our sicknesses, illness, blood pressures, cancers, nervous issues, mental disorders. All that is in the food. You basically eating your little brothers and your sisters. Ecclesiastes told us, you don't have no preeminence over no animal. You don't.
All right. Real talk.
So that was really serious what she said, because sin separates us from our Father. And we think we passed the majority of sins because we let certain things go. But it's what you put in you. It's what shows that comes out of you. You see what I'm saying? That spirit of that thing. You know what I'm talking about? Right. Beastly nature. Murderous nature. Blood in your jaws nature. Wish a nigga would nature. You know what I'm saying? You know, smack a bee nature. You know what I'm talking about? Smack my brother, or Will and Chris nature. Hell, emotionalism nature.
All right.
It's bro, I ain't been at, bro, I told you something today. Somebody hit my car. You know what I'm talking about? I just talked to you about that earlier. And how quick a murderous spirit can get up on you. And what I told you I did. I pulled over and let it go. I got full coverage insurance. My car in the shop right now. Somebody drove past my car trying to squeeze on the far right side, hit my car, and took off, and I was going to get right behind him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the type of Israelite that's always ready. I leave it at that. Man, I had to stop myself. I said, boy, as angry as I was, I thank God for that, because I was angry instantly, and then instantly I was not angry.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
When I know the old Nehemiah, boy, would have been on a high speed on that highway. If I got close enough, you would have known it. But man, look, I thank God for his patience with me and allowing me to make it through to see this day. I don't know about tomorrow, but I thank God to see this day.
Right. Right. Thank him for right now. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about, brother. Bless up. We need to find us a prayer to pray on out, though, brother. You know, may the Most High honor all prayer requests in this very hour. You dig?
I wanted to put this in here too.
Go ahead.
I got it here, but I didn't hit enter. There it is. You should see it. Ecclesiastes, right? I mean, I follow Ezekiel. Just one quick verse. And look what she was saying. This also makes sense when she said that this brought this scripture to my mind. And the Most High said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled, not meat. What did it say, Mally?
Bread.
Defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I would drive them. Even in these references and prophecies, whether we get in vineyards, whether, you know what I'm saying, we got the land of milk and honey, whether, you know what I'm saying, anything that we got kingdom based is no eating meat. Just throwing that out there.
Just throwing it on out there, player. All praise and glory now to the Most High. Tomorrow about 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, we be back on. If it's the Creator's will, better believe that. You feel me? I was going to say pick us a nice Psalm, Hebrew. How about we all touch and agree to cancel war with peace, hatred with love, poverty with abundance, and sickness with health. That's what it's all about. All right, touch and agree to see our people deliver from these bodily plagues. Believe it or not, y'all, the majority, I think it's like 90% of your immune system is actually in your gut. That's why the phrase goes out, the majority of your illnesses are actually foodborne. Because 90% of your immune, close to it, I don't know if it's exactly 90%, but close to 90% of your immune system is in your gut. You see that? So it's very important that we monitor, you know what I mean, what goes in the temple of the Almighty. You know what I mean? Very important. Diet, or what we call a living, you understand? Is directly, not indirectly, directly connected to your health. Directly connected to your health and your spirit man. And your spirit man or your inner spirit. Absolutely. You dig? So we touch and agree to come against warfare with peace, hatred with love, poverty with abundance, and any type of plague or sickness with health and healing. That's the reality that we live. You understand? And y'all, we done prayed against the COVID for what, 2 years? And y'all see how COVID just vanished? They ain't talking about COVID no more. It vanished. All right? COVID disappeared with the Russian-Ukraine situation. The Russian-Ukraine situation disappeared with Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. You ain't hear about that no more now. You know what I mean? It's just all distractions going on, man. What I'm saying is, we pray, we touch and agree for like 2 years. When that COVID act like it was staying around or something, came right against it. Got healing testimonials, all praise to the Creator, of certain individuals, either that's near us or even on the phone, that was diagnosed with it. Pray against it, and brothers and sisters, is all good. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, the power that's lying within us collectively can shake the heavens and the earth. So fight to keep your mind's eye focused on what's right. You know what I mean? What's righteous, positivity. You know what I mean? The fruit of the spirit, the character of the Creator. Focus on those things. All right? Don't focus on the corner, because the corner is self. You understand? The corner was selfish. The corner was the mind of Satan, the devil. That's what it means to be carnally minded. It's death. Right? So when we collectively come together and focus on a certain outcome, y'all, it moves. You know what I mean? The outcome manifests. So I'm having fun doing that. For Nehemiah, prayer request for so-and-so, all praises. You understand? Go meditate and pray and send forth that project a massive healing toward that brother and his family. You did? And then Yahweh moved. He ended up moving on our behalf. So we on the right path, y'all. You understand? And we striving daily to what? Dedicate these vessels completely over to him. Right? And I'm going to say this too. We are never the ones that act like we better than anybody because we ain't chewing on any flesh. All right? We are your brothers, though. We are your brothers. You understand? So, it may come a time if any of the brothers or sisters that's listening that's still having problems with it. It may come a time where, you inflamed, but your blood too hot and your joints inflamed. So you got, you've been diagnosed with whatever it may be, arthritis, whatever it may be. You understand? Gout. No, men in the truth, they got gout. And that don't come from pork, shrimp, crab, and lobsters. You see? So whenever you run into any type of situation where you need some type of healing, you understand, the same Nazarene brothers and sisters are supposed to be known for healing. So if you run into a situation like that, guess what we going to do? We are definitely going to put up some powerful prayers over you, and we going to change your diet. Got to. You got to cleanse out. You got to detox. See what I be doing? I drink a 32 ounce of these bitters every day. I just sip on them. Preventative. Get you some bitters or some herbs or whatever. That's good for what it is, and just all day. You dig? I just sip on them deals. Those are the bitters right there. Everything you need to keep your body electrified and, they nasty. They taste like a bag of quarters. You feel me? But it's electrifying your body, electrifying your blood. Because your blood hit every system in your body. Right? So that blood gotta be clean. It gotta be purified. It gotta be electric. You understand? Gotta be. So how about we take care of ourselves, man? You understand? This is the first Passover ever where it will not be any flesh on the plate. Right? And I'm looking forward to it. I thank the Almighty. Right? I know within a year, we started this I stopped chewing on animals right after Passover last year, like April 15th, something like that. It was almost been a year. I look back over the year and see how far the Almighty has brought us. All praise. I'm thankful for that. You understand? Very, very thankful. Right? But now it's the time for us to go ahead and get ourselves together. It's springtime. None of us got no reason not to be outside in them elements. Whether it's real early in the morning or in the evening, you need to be outside, especially that sun. That sun finna be out beaming. You understand? Make sure you out there eating. You feel me? Food is just another source of energy. Well, make sure you eat up. Make sure you eat on the sun, eat on the wind. In other words, you understand? In other words, meditate outside. Everybody should be exercising too. Get your stretch on. You dig? All praise and glory now to the Most High. All praise and glory. Look, Benadab say last April was when I first seen you guys. All praise. It's been a year, man. It's been a year, and that year went fast too. And we just not turning up. You understand? But take advantage of the Most High's creation. Springtime is here. Be outside, meditating, praying. You understand? Make sure you exercising. You get that. I didn't know how stiff I was until I started stretching every morning, probably like back in January, but I did not know I was that stiff. I was stiff. I was. Dang. You understand? So make sure, we taking advantage of the Most High's creation. We taking advantage of the shifting seasons and all that. All praise and glory now. Nehemiah, you got anything else?
No, I'm pretty much, eat for bed. Oh, we got to hit up our Dino. Dino, you coming online, say something to the people? He was saying earlier he might come online. Well, I definitely can read from out of that Psalms. Psalms 116 is kind of what I was looking at. Y'all ready to read on out? so everybody can get them some rest and get it together. My house still quiet, boy. I should hurry up and jump in the bed and go to sleep. Ema, it's crazy. It's snowing over there where you at. You moved to the wrong area, sister. All right, y'all. I'm going to read from out of Psalms 116 with the Most High's permission. Let me get a one if y'all ready. We'll go ahead and end the night together in prayer as a whole, as a family. Love y'all participation. Love y'all understanding. Love to see the conversation amongst y'all. Man, beautiful. All right, get a couple of ones and I'll go ahead and jump on into this prayer.
Let's get it.
All right, Ema came on through. All right. Psalms 116 with the Most High's permission. I love Yahweh because he has heard my voice and my supplication. Because he has inclined his ear unto me. Therefore, will I call upon him as long as I live. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the pains of hell gat hold upon me, and I found trouble and sorrow. Then I called upon the name of YHWH'S. Oh, Yah, I beseech thee, deliver my soul. Gracious is Yahweh and righteous. Yeah, our Elohim is merciful. Yahweh preserveth the simple. I was brought low, and he helped me. Return unto thy rest, O my soul, for Yahweh has dealt bountifully with thee. For thou hast delivered my soul from death, my eyes from tears, and my feet from falling. I will walk before Yahweh in the land of the living. I believed, therefore I have spoken. I was greatly afflicted. I said in my haste, all men are liars. What shall I render to Yahweh for all his benefits toward me? And I would take the cup of salvation and call upon the name of YHWH. And I will pay my vows unto Yah now in the presence of all his people. Precious is the sight of Yahweh, is the death of his saints. O Yahweh, truly I am thy servant. I am thy servant, and the son of thine handmaid. Thou hast loosed my bounds, and I will offer to thee the sacrifice of thanksgiving. And will call upon the name of YHWH, and I will pay my vows unto Yahweh, now in the presence of all his people. Verse 19. In the courts of Yahweh's house, in the midst of thee, O Jerusalem, praise ye YHWH. Hallelujah. Selah. Yahoo. Boy, that was beautiful.
Yeah,
man.
Boy, we got motion.
Woo.
And all praises, glory, now to the Most High, forever live his anointed, beloved Son. Bless up. No doubt, I've been a dab, our beloved brother. Leave that, The Most High got breath in our bodies. That we here to, we here to go ahead and present the information and bring it all out. All praises. It's an honor to serve.
It is an honor to serve.
Honor to serve. Remember that. Know that. You dig? And what the enemy had out there is if we was going, run out of gas, we still rolling. Ain't we, need man?
Still rolling, brother.
Still rolling, bro, by the grace of the Creator. So for that, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for right now. You dig? And You know, hey, we're gonna always challenge each other to be better, to be stronger, to be smarter, use wisdom. You understand? We always challenge each other to, hey, take better care of yourself. You understand? We're gonna always do that. That's just what it is. I may get on y'all nerves sometimes. Sometimes, like, dang, get on my nerves again. You did, but that ain't the whole thing. Is to challenge ourselves to be better, because we supposed to be living like the angels, right? The righteous ones. All right, that's who call you brother, right? And eventually you're gonna be where they at. All right. So we got to start by, again, reverencing and worshiping the Creator, and focus on righteous service and acts done unto others in sincerity. Like we will be out here blessing each other constantly, right? Before I even get out the door every day, I purpose it in my mind to bless someone today. I will bless someone today. I will pray for someone today. All right, that's how it is. And so you spend your day looking, for opportunities to show the love of the Creator, to show the love of the Most High, Yahweh. You look for opportunity to do that, right? And the opportunities present themselves. And look, if that's just what it is, if that's all it is, into the worship of the Almighty, then it don't matter what your position is in life. It don't matter where you at socially, financially. Everybody can have belief in the Almighty and do works of righteousness, right? Works of righteousness may be you just saying a small prayer for a situation. Like, for example, the whole Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. You understand? I made it, even though I looked at a little bit of it, I made it my business not to let that consume me. You feel me? Because it got to come to a point. I mean, you always want to be aware of what's going on, but it got to come to a point to where I just got to say my prayers about the situation and send peace over it and keep it moving. You understand? And that's how we got to be in life. Sometimes it just may be for you to drop a prayer for the brother or sister and whatever they going through. Like within your own self, pray for them. You understand? Send the spirit of, comfort, peace, balance to them. Come against any unclean force that may be dominating them or something like that. So after I watched the little, okay, dang, Will Smith got up and smacked the flavor out of Chris Rock. What happened? Dang, okay. And so all the stories started getting spun, and we know but the crazy part is we already knew what was going on with Will and Jada and their children. We already knew that was unstable anyway. What I'm saying is, after I looked at a few, that's why I wasn't posting crazy about it. After I looked at a few videos and all that, just was like, all right, well, clearly the situation needs our prayers. Just leave it at that. You know what I mean? But to me, that ain't nothing but some house Negroes anyway fighting over Master's kitty. So for us to be so up in an uproar because that happened at the Oscar, okay, well, it just happened, brother. Send your prayers over the situation. Let's keep it moving. Because as you see, COVID is gone, and the Russia-Ukraine war disappeared with Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. You ain't even hearing about the Russia-Ukraine war no more. It's crazy. You dig? So love all y'all in deed and in truth. Let's touch and agree to see the healing of our nation. Let's touch and agree to see the healing of our loved ones. You understand? We cancel war with peace, hatred with love, sickness with health and healing, and poverty with abundance. You understand? Because the abundance and the resources is what needed for us to share them with the world. That's all it's about. All right. So all praises, glory, and honor to the Almighty. Love all y'all in deed and truth. Right back up tomorrow around 1 p.m. if it's the Creator's will. Going, just chopping it up. We got Ocdino and the family from Florida here in the building. You dig? So we're gonna chop it up with them. Probably do a little something to eat with them tomorrow evening. And we fellowshipping and gathering together Sunday, which will be the 3rd, around between 10 in the morning and noon. And we're just gonna have us an unleavened bread festivity. You did unleavened bread, probably some salad. We got bitter herbs already, some bitter herbs. May have a little pasta or something like that. And just leave it at that. And thank the Creator for coming together, at his appointed times, and Just thank him for right now. You dig? That's what I've been doing. I've been hitting the brakes and just enjoying the now moments. Like I'm about to do right now. I'm going to go out here and mess with my children. You dig? So, all praise the glory. Now, lovely queen, my beloved sister, blessing to you and your children. Bless up and your entire house. Bless up. All right? Look at Anna, right? LOL. I feel you, Anna. If it wasn't for the slide, because I didn't know the Oscars was on either. You feel me? About 4 in the morning, my phone was going off. Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. I'm like, dang, what's going on? What Will smack Chris for? What's going on around here? You dig? And the crazy part about it, Chris Rock actually has played a woman on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air before. Chris Rock actually, see what it was, I think Carlton and them set Will up on a blind date. And he did. Will ain't want to do it, but then he finally agreed to it. And then the blind date ended up being Chris Rock dressed as a woman. So they go back. You understand? Like, them niggas go back to like the 90s. You dig? So, all praise and glory now to the Most High. To say your prayers over the situation. Drop peace in there and just, you know, keep it pushing. That's all you can do. Try not to be consumed by all the negativity. Focus on what reality you want to manifest. You did. Yeah, Deanna Tullison. Yeah. Chris Rock played basically dressed in drag. He basically dressed in drag on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and played one of Will Smith's blind dates before. Yep, I just seen that today. I said, dang, it is Chris Rock. That's crazy. Going back to the 90s. Yeah. Okay, all praise. Sis say the lesson was very informative. Highly informative. Much appreciation, brothers. Bless up. Hallelujah. All praise. All right, I'm about to hear y'all. Love all y'all indeed.
Yeah.
What's up, Nate? Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now,
We love y'all indeed in truth.
I got a quick take.
All right, go ahead.
So, if you follow me on Facebook, and I know I tagged Mally too, so, but like you say, he don't engage in all that. He never really do. But I'm gonna tell you why I did. I engaged the way I did, not so much as I didn't big up on the slap. I try to see where our people head at. I don't know if it's psychological. Mally left for real. I did it psychologically. It blows my mind to see where our people head is at. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you can throw out there, I just try to see where the head is at. So that's why it's not so much as, I see scriptures plays out in it. And I definitely would Mally say send peace, prayers, and healing, because that man's house is hurt. His daughter back in 2011 wrote a letter to Tupac talking about come back and be with her mama. I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. And, it's really messy. But it's something that needs to be talked about, because that's a direct attack on Black men, Black people, Black culture, and just the mindset that we have as a people on how things should be handled. I was even looking at the polls done by other news channels. It's like literally torn half and half, was Will right or wrong? But it'd be those, same people that would blow my mind. Like, so if you disrespect a man as a woman, he can smack you. Or if a man disrespect a woman, she can smack him. And I don't know. Everybody's so against domestic violence until that happened, So I just like to see what people hear at. And actually, it gives me a chance to look, see, understand, and guess what? Fix my friend list. I ain't lie, I be using it for a scouting mission. Oh, yeah, that's how you think for real? Let me handle that business. But anyway, I love y'all indeed in truth. And I see nobody else talking. I'm just running my mouth to those who decide to stay and listen. But I definitely love all y'all indeed in truth. And we will get with you all tomorrow. I am going to leave the lobby. And I believe that will close the room officially, because I think I'm the last one here. So again, I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow. A lot of tove. Oh, okay. Well, Marcus, you can hit my line, bro. I ain't gonna bore the people. You can hit my line, brother. Be good to talk to you anyway. Here you go. All right. Let me see what Anna put. I feel you, Anna. He has also been on the ego. Yeah. It was a lot. But all right, y'all. Most of y'all got my number, so we definitely can talk. Shalom. I know you ain't calling, brother. You know better. Love the whole family. Shalom.